Alrighty, welcome to the semi-final between MP1 and EFE Team. It's a Category B matchup in the Virgo Cup, and my boy, my god, I mean, not my boy, that's funny. This is going to be quite the matchup indeed. Both these teams have fought hard to get through all the stages of the game. They have both performed exceptionally well. Well, they made it to the semi-final. What other proof do we need, right? Exactly. This is going to be an awesome set. Trust me. So, let's introduce our players. I'm just going to start with Red. I don't have a bias in favor for Red. What are you talking about, please? In the red, we have Arion playing as the Ethiopians. Good stuff. In the yellow, we've got Astrion playing as the Magyars. Alright. In the purple, we have Alan If, or Alan Efe, as they like to call him, playing as the Chinese. Good stuff. As we have a little bit of a pause. Alright, good stuff. On the other side, in the blue, we have Locha playing as the Vietnamese. Good stuff. In the green, we've got our boomer, Kaleche from Buedo, playing as the Burgundians. Again, that was expected. And then in the teal, we have Patrick, playing as the Koreans. Good stuff. Alrighty, we actually called a bunch of these civilizations, didn't we? Yeah, a bunch of these we called. Yeah, I think I missed two here. I didn't expect Magyars, and I didn't expect Koreans here. But for the rest, we called all of them. Yay! Alright, well, we should probably talk about civilizations here. Now, most of these civilizations are expected picks for Arabia, especially when most of the meta civs have been banned, like Mayans and Britons. They're out of the series. Franks is out as well. Persians is out, so you're not going to see any of those this series, right? So that leaves us with some other civs. Now, Chinese is a great Arabia 1v1 civ. I think they're a decent team game civ as well. They do lack. Well, they don't lack anything as a flank role. They get fully upgraded archers. They do have a little bit of an eco bonus in that they save a lot of resources on all their technologies, which is nice. But I think that bonus, what that really helps them normally with, is switching from one thing to another, which you're not going to be doing a whole lot in a team game anyways. It's mostly going to be, archers for purple, and that's about it. So that kind of negates that Chinese strength that they have in 1v1 games. Doesn't mean they're a bad game. If you can master that early start, you should be okay. And I think if you look at purple, yeah, 40 seconds of TC idle time, that's really good. That's good. Because that means he will be 2 villagers ahead of his opponents now, right? Because he has 1 villager more, and once his opponent's research loom, he will be ahead another villager. So there you go. That's about as good as it's going to get with Chinese. Yeah, and also why Chinese in this map, it's probably the best map for it, you know, because a lot of the other maps are very aggressive, and you know, the Chinese, the early start is so risky, you don't really want to necessarily pick Chinese there then. Alright, let's have a look at Yellow versus the Burgundian player. Now, Yellow will dominate, absolutely dominate in Feudal Age, right? For Yellow, it is totally possible with Magyars here to play an extended Feudal Age. I figured we'd use Magyars on a map like Colosseum, which they would probably be a lot stronger. That doesn't mean they're not strong on Arabia. They are strong on Arabia, especially up against Burgundians. Magyars simply have the better cavalry overall, right? In Feudal Age, they have bloodlines, which Burgundians don't get. And of course, they get that extra attack for free, the attack upgrades, I mean, before anyone else can get those. That gives you a lot of a power spike at the start of each age. Now, Burgundians have the better economy. They can already get their eco tax before they get up to the next stage. As you can see, double bid-ax is in, and it's also half the food, so it's discounted as well. The other thing that Burgundians do have is a castle age spike. That is, they will be able to research Cavalier at a discount, which gives their knights extra HP, which makes up for the lack of bloodlines, and it gives them +2 attack, which means that they will actually have stronger knights than the Magyar player, even when the Magyar player already has the second attack upgrade. Doesn't matter. So in the castle age, the Burgundian player can certainly do some damage to the Magyar player here. In Imperial Age, though, it's going to depend again on who gets Paladin first, right? The Burgundian player is likely to get Paladin first because it's half the price, so it's really cheap. But again, Paladin's without bloodline. So as the Magyar player will have to go through Cavalier first, then get Paladin, and then will be able to overwhelm the Burgundian player. Again, that's very late. So early game will be better for Yellow, but the mid game is for the Burgundians. Mid to early late game. So that's kind of the time to strike for MP, I'd say, against the Magyar player. Let's see. Koreans versus Ethiopians. Koreans obviously have the worst archers because Ethiopians fire 80% faster, which makes their archers very deadly, especially at close range. So you definitely don't want to mess with that. Now, Koreans do get free armor upgrades on their archers, so if you needed to mix in some skirms, you can easily do that without having to afford that armor upgrade first. Right, which is nice. Koreans also get strong towers, right? They mine stone faster, so if you want to go for a quick castle drop, it takes less of your economy to afford that. Yeah, Ethiopians again with the better archers, and looks like the Ethiopian player is also going to go for a man-at-arm rush, and there we go. You know, Red Scout leading the troops forward, and there they go. These knuckleheads. There you go, with their little helmets. Very cute. They kind of look like rugby players to me, wearing clubs. Imagine if that's how you play rugby at Age of Empires land, right? You know, same gear, but with clubs instead of, you know, nothing. I think that game would be a lot more deadly than if they did that. Maybe, probably not a good idea, huh? Anyways, the man-at-arm rush from the Vietnamese player is in. He wasn't able to get the upgrade just yet because he prioritized the double bit axe upgrade, which is kind of unfortunate because otherwise these men-at-arms would have been able to maybe kill a villager here, and now Purple's just going to have to abandon his wood line for the time being. He's also going to try to wall in his gold. Quick wall, quick wall, quick wall. Nicely done. And the gold is walled in, so at least you can get some archers out to counter this now. Good stuff. Oh yeah, of course we didn't talk about Vietnamese player yet. Vietnamese player does have better archers than the Chinese player because they have more HP. That may definitely help you in pitched battles where that HP makes them more durable, right? Right, well, Red is trying to break into the gold, but I think if he hits the berries over here, that may be a good idea as well, because it will force the Korean player into early farms, which will slow down his archer production. As, hey, Green there, losing a scout to the men-at-arms for Red there, which are on stand ground, so only one of them was actually really attacking. Yeah, which means that Green now is at 3 scouts, and he's actually at the same level of scouts as the Magyar player, which means he's behind, because Magyar player has better scouts. That's pretty much the rule of it. There you go. Green knows that. He's not going to fight those scouts, not without archer support, because he needs something, because those scouts are a lot stronger now. With that extra attack, they can kill archers fast, and they can kill villagers fast as well. Same time, the clubmen are being chased out of town here by the purple archers. At the same time, the men-at-arms trying to break into the gold, and Steel's trying to stop that with some archers, which do not have fletching yet, but they have armor, so at least there's that. Yellow is still here though to try to kill as many archers as he can, but Teal of course sitting in the range of his town center. Yellow won't be able to get too close. What's Yellow doing? His production has been very, very spotty. Did you notice that? Yellow wasn't able to get a whole lot of scouts at the same time, so not sure what happened to Yellow there. Because remember, Magyar scouts are also discounted, so to fall behind there like that is kind of strange. Look, Green got, I mean, it has the better economy, let's be fair. But Green got 6 scouts in the field right now against just 5 for Yellow, and Yellow did kill a bunch of Green scouts. So, I don't know. Green definitely doing a better job of getting that early scout production up. And Yellow, they may be Magyar scouts, but they can't kill this many scouts on their own. So Yellow's just going to have to back up here before losing too much scout HP. Alright, well, Red is walled up. He's keeping his archers at home. He's making some spearmen as well, just in case that green breaks through the walls. He's also trying to go for a small wall base. Has walled to the gold though, which means that if archers sit right there, your gold is forfeit. Alright, Yellow is here. Yellow may catch this archer army off guard though before Green can reinforce, but I think Yellow just missed it. You know, he's chasing Green scouts right now. Doesn't know where Red is. Now, he could technically see that dead wolf if he's paying attention. Wait. Oh, no? Did they fix that? Oh. Well, there you go then. I guess not. That used to be a dead giveaway as Red! What? Why was that not walled? He was walling that. What? Alright, well, scouts in your base, but Green sees the archers there. He knows if I run in there, I'm going to lose my scouts. I'm not going to be able to kill too many villagers. So Red getting away there. Lucky that his archers were in position to defend that. Going on this side. Oh, Purple managing to break through the walls here in the Vietnamese base. The Vietnamese player has 6 archers right now, which are... Where are those archers at the moment? They are... Okay, they're at the other side of his base. Green now has a choice. He could definitely, I mean, yellow has a choice. He could definitely abandon red and say, you know, purple is doing better than you, so I'm going to go to the other side and try to get some damage there. You defend your base. Of course, the risk there is that red will get 2v1. Although, actually, doesn't look like that's the plan. It looks like teal is actually planning to go to yellow. And yellow may not expect that one. You know, it's always a possibility. Now, this will force red and yellow to chase that. Yeah, they didn't know it was coming. They're going to be completely surprised by this. Yeah, look where his army's going. If the green and teal wait a little bit, yellow and red will be too far away to really help here. And yellow still didn't see it, as teal is actually... Oh, wow. What, they're going to hit purple or what? Okay, teal now moving away. Wait, what? Why not attack? No, attack! It would have been perfect. They're all the way over here. They would never have been able to help in time. Teal's gonna back up now. Boo. But now you're gonna probably going to have to drop a tower on your gold now, because once red gets there, he's got way more archers than you do, so... Blue also losing some free archers outside of his base as he ungarrisoned them on the wrong side, as blue now also has to drop a tower on his gold to keep himself protected and at least be able to make more archers with that gold. Alrighty. As red now finds the gold for teal, and yeah, teal, like I said, had to drop a tower because his army wasn't here. Now teal's army is going to have to beeline right back to his base, and it actually didn't do any damage. Now, green is trying to break into yellow's base, but without the teal there, the house walls behind will keep these scouts out. So, what a shame, what a shame. I think if teal had just sent those archers with green to yellow's base, what do you think would have happened? Red would have sent these archers straight back to yellow's base to help yellow deal with that. Yellow will most certainly have gone back as well, which would have basically stopped this pressure on your base. So the situation that teal is in right now, he could have avoided that by being aggressive and not defensive. As we have ourselves a little battle in the middle of the map, as the Vietnamese player, despite having more HP on his archers, simply does not have the numbers to match what purple is making. Alright, green is in the castellates, yellow's on the way to the castellates, the cavalier upgrade is coming in, good stuff. Teal is about to click up here, as he has managed to keep his archer mass alive, so at least there's that. As now red, and red should probably be very careful not to stay here too long, because of course green is going to get some knights out, as green is gonna doubt DC. Yeah! A one villager DC! It's a doubt DC. As yeah, the early knights will still get killed by the Magyar players, whose scouts have the attack upgrades, and look what difference that makes, as we have ourselves a doubt DC. This is perfect. Wow, that's really good for yellow, actually. It's also buying red some time to get back home, you know? It's a nice little rear guard action, as you would call that. Green, in the meantime, is looking for a way in, but purple did in time wall that hole off so that the scouts can't actually get in. He's also walled on the left-hand side. I like that. I like that a lot, because now green and blue will have to go either punch through the walls, or they'll have to go through the middle, which again makes it easier for yellow to reinforce if need be. Alright, well, yellow is still trying to find a hole into green's base, but green has... he has plugged up his base nicely there, so there shouldn't be a whole lot of places that yellow can hit. Red there has kept his archers safe at home as well. There's nice Ethiopian archers that fire faster, which kill knights a lot quicker than... yeah, he still needs to get his upgrade. But he will be in castellates before teal, so at least there's that. What's going on this side? As... Oh, the light gap for green. He got that upgrade. Still no bloodlines, but it doesn't matter. He finds those archers for purple for free and gets to clean them up without taking too much damage. At least not on units that he cares about. As blue is built out for the time being, and purple now down to 10 archers. Also not on the way to, well, he's on the way to castellates. He's not in castellates yet. So yeah, the production from purple is going to have to be ramped up here, as he has to rebuild his mass now. Because blue has, well, he doesn't have more archers per se. He does have more skirmishers on the field as well. Alright, here comes red, now forward with crossbows, and green spots that army and says, okay, you know what, okay, we should probably back up here. Teal, though, with a lot of archers, hell yeah. That is 34 archers for teal, 28 for red, but of course, remember, red's archers are Ethiopian archers. They are technically the better archers out there, so you gotta be very careful with that. Alright, well, Yellow is going to join green now because he also knows that, red spotted green's cavaliers. He said, okay, they're over here on my side, so you should also be on my side as well. Yellow is still scouring around with those Magyar light cap. Can certainly do a lot of damage if they ever manage to get into green space. And purple is scouted out here, right? He has a scout out there to tell yellow, okay, there's a hole in the wood line, if there's a hole. Here comes green though, marching forward a little bit ahead of his army. As a result, took some damage there from the crossbows for red, who also occupied the hill. But they saw the massive number of archers that were streaming across the hill from this side as yellow. Yellow! Your knight! Luckily for him, teal does not have ballistics yet. Otherwise, all the knights would have died for sure. As now green goes too close to red and instead loses a knight. So yeah, this is very close. Both cavalry players taking some losses there as they get too close to the opponent's ranged units, which are the real damage doers, huh? On the other side, what's happening? Oh, the light cap making their way into purple's town, and they will definitely kill some stuff there. As blue and purple are duking it out on this side, with blue having the larger archer numbers here, and purple's gonna have to abandon that. At the same time, the light cap's still raiding, and purple is taking some losses. The first villager kills here, well, after yellow killed something, as 5 villagers lie dead. Alright, 37 crossbows for red, 45 for teal, but without yellow here, red being here alone is very, very risky. Because if green sees that, he can pounce on that immediately. And there you go. Green immediately sees that army. He's like, you know what? Let's go. But these are Ethiopian crossbows. 32 is enough to two-shot knights consistently. So, yeah. As yellow's still looking for a way in. I mean, purple will tell him. So yellow should just be patient. Be patient. You will get your value at some point. Purple will chop a hole. It's inevitable. It will happen. Alright, well, things are not looking too good for purple. After losing his army in late feudal age, to the light cap for green, his army was decimated, and as a result, blue got ahead finally in the archer count, and now it is way more archers for blue on this side, running into purple's town and sniping more villages. It's 10 villages down for the Chinese player. That vill lead that he once had is long gone. Alright, red still occupying a hill on this side. Yellow is in front, trying to dodge as many shots as he can, as green decides to take the fight there. Very risky fight there for green, with only 3 cavaliers. This is getting a little bit dicey, but teal should probably back up a little bit here. Without more support from green, you should be very careful here to fight here, because if yellow gets more knights out, you could be toast. Oh, teal at the same time sent some crossbows around red's base and is now killing a bunch of villagers on red's woodline. 6 villagers in total. Nicely done. At the same time though, teal, because he's doing 2 things at the same time, is losing villagers on the front as well. As you can see, like I said, without too much cavalry support there, teal is at risk of getting pounced upon by the Magyar knights. Of course, red was also chasing this close with his own crossbows. Now it's red actually who has to back up, so we'll see. The light cap for yellow, instead of being sent into green's base, have now been called back for the defense of purple's base. But yeah, of course, they sacrificed themselves heroically, but in vain, because purple will not be saved by the light cavalry this time. The charge of the light brigade is as as disastrous in this game as it was 200 years ago in the Crimean War. Yeah, don't let the movie, with Errol Flynn tell you anything differently. It was a botched charge. I know the poem is awesome and the story is cool, and the movie is too. Especially, the music video that the Iron Maiden made out of it. But it really wasn't a good charge. It was actually a mistake, showing once again the value of propaganda. Alright. Red here, still laying siege to teal, but of course teal has a guard tower there. Koreans for the winning! The moment you build a tower, you go up to the next stage, it is a guard tower instantly. As, purple still losing more villagers. It's 19 villagers down for purple, as blue crossbows are just sitting everywhere. And blue is dropping a siege workshop as well, looking to put pressure on purple at the moment. Now this is going to force yellow to send troops, right? Send troops to the left, and there you go. Look where the knights are going. They have to bail out purple on the other side of the map. This will leave red alone, and as a result, green and teal can now push forward. Now green can of course decide to also go to the left side to help blue and make a siege push succeed and leave the Korean player up against the Ethiopian player by himself, but that would of course be risky. I guess that's what he's going to do. Yep, there you go. Green is abandoning teal now. So it's red versus teal. Unless red decides to chase this, which he is doing right now. Mangonel coming out, but yellow is sending his troops to the right-hand side as... Oh, purple! What happened? Why were those villagers there? I mean, luckily, yellow was there in time to see it, to at least save 2 of these villagers, but I'm not sure... Oh, purple was on gold there, wasn't he? Yeah, blue was just happening to find those villagers and kills the lot of them. Purple down 29 vills. This is not looking good for the Chinese player. There's no way in hell that purple is going to be able to push here, which is not a good sign. As now green is going to raid yellow to distract yellow from helping purple. Right, this is good actually. This is good. If you're not going to send your cavalier all the way to the other side, making sure that yellow will send his army to his own base instead of helping purple will buy blue some time to really get a push going on purple. Because really yellow is the only one who can save purple now. You know, sniping those mangonels with a few knight units. Now, red's army was chasing those cavaliers for a while. As a result, it's out of position now. And now red is under siege himself by the crossbows from the Korean player who has just clicked up to the Imperial Age. Alright, light Patrick on the way. And we know that Patrick is quite the boomer, so... Alright, on the other side, blue is not going to go to Imperial Age himself here unscathed, as the Magyar player does send in some knights now to try to get some kills, and blue is slowly losing a few villagers to this, but eventually he will be okay. The town centers will whittle that down eventually, as blue is slowly getting some more units out, but right now he was more interested in getting up to Imp first. Teal holding a critical hill here, the Temple Hill one might call it, because of that monastery that's standing right there. It's also blocking the way to the gold, and green decided, again, to send his cavaliers here. This is also forcing yellow to be here as well, because if he doesn't do that, then red will suffer a similar fate to what purple is suffering right now, which means that purple is on his own. The knights here killing a few farmers, and again, blue, he did take some damage there, but again, this is fine. And again, green and teal, they know, as long as they stay on this side, they'll be okay, because yellow and red will be here as well, while they all go up the Imperial Age to get that Imperial Age military out. The only one on EFE Team's side to go up to Imp is red. So red will get Arbalest very soon here, which will be very dangerous. Ethiopian Arbalest are scary. But again, this army, what is it doing? It's chasing an army, a mirage in the back of red's base. A raiding army indeed. It's not doing anything to push. It's not helping purple. But what's yellow doing? Yellow is sending some raiders forward now. Unfortunately for him, they run right into Burgundian Cavaliers, which were posted on the hill, which means that the Burgundian player will at least know about this and can deal with this as well. Down center goes up, good place to fight for green, there you go. Right now still looking to take a fight against teal, but teal's getting driven into a corner, should be very careful not to get stuck there. Alrighty. Yeah, yellow taking a fight, but Cavaliers again proving their mettle here, you know, even with lesser numbers, still taking an okay fight there. Good stuff. How about blue? Has Arbalest now and Mangonels, and of course we'll get some better units out soon. Something that purple simply can't do anything about. And yellow, if he wants to help purple now, he needs to have Imperial Age units himself because he can't kill the Arbalest player today. Lots of series today. Yeah, I know. It's gonna be a long day. This one. It's gonna be a long day. So, but I'm prepared for that. I think after my marathon stream week last week, I am all in the groove for stuff like this. I have the stamina for it now, one might say. Yeah, here comes yellow, but he can't do anything. Yellow can't be close to this because if he does that, it will just get his knights will get shredded to pieces by the Arbalest. There's simply nothing he can do. As teal, wow, I like this. Teal is walling up the map, my man. Ah, I like that. Now, wall up over here as well, obviously. But I like this wall to stop the possibility of Magyar Hussar raids. Which, of course, will certainly happen at some point in the game. As the Magyar player will start to float a lot of food. And then, of course, has to do something with that. Purple is now fast going to lose his base. Purple, again, is never going to click up the Imp here. There's just no way. And blue and green are fast moving in here. Yellow still feels the need to come and save his body. But he cannot fight this. Not before upgrades. There's no way. This Arbalest will absolutely shred him to pieces. Is Teal doing on this side? Teal is still making Red's life hell on this side. And again, as long as Teal is sitting here, even if he never takes a decisive fight against Red, which he almost did here, almost losing his entire army, you know, Red will have to keep the army here to deal with that threat, which means that Red is not pushing forward. So even though on this side, you know, there's not, you know, blue is definitely killing purple, red is not killing teal. And they're giving teal a lot of time to fortify, get castles up, get a position up. And with that, how does EFE Team come back in this game? I don't know. They're hopelessly behind the military, they're hopelessly behind an economy. I think at this point, we're getting close to a GG moment. As Paladin comes in for the Burgundian player. Yeah, like I said, Burgundian player is likely to have Paladin before the Magyar player because it is cheaper after all. And Paladin is still Paladin even without bloodlines. It doesn't matter. Yeah, yellow, who just got his upgrades, now still has to run away and abandon purple as purple's base is made, is leveled. At the same time, that army of teal is now running into the back of yellow's base, as yellow is going to have to relocate a lot of villages as well. And teal, again, he doesn't care about this army so much. He's just raiding. The army he cares about is the one that is coming forward right now to attack red where it hurts. And unfortunately for red, he had one army, and that army is chasing teal in its totality, which means that red won't be able to hold the front. This game, it seems pretty clear. It seems a clear and shot case this time around. This game will go to MP. I don't see EFE Team coming back from this one. I mean, yellow is fully boomed. He's getting a Paladin as Magyars. I mean, maybe Magyar Paladin can make the difference, but I mean, purple is already completely dead. Right, there's not much that purple can do. Teal is stonewalling the entire map at the moment, so even if you win all these fights and keep your base safe and somehow have the rest to also send military forward, where are you going to send it to? There's walls. Let's see, there's some raids over here from Teal, as Teal, you know, has still been raiding everything with his Arbalest army. Purple, of course, cannot hold blue back, and blue is bypassing purple now, sending his Arbalest to the left-hand side of yellow's base. There's just paladins everywhere in yellow's economy, as yellow's trying to get some castles up to defend himself. But my god, even with that Vilka, oh wow, remember that yellow had 120 villagers 5 minutes ago? Yeah, it's 53 villages. This game is over. This game is very much over. It will be GG soon. Especially as Red's base is also getting leveled. Yeah. There's no way now. There's no way now. I think at this point, MP, they're probably just kind of sitting there just like, okay, we lost this game. It's fine. There you go. We'll call it GG now. After our heads are cleared, we're going to go into our first home map with a clear head and play well there. There you go. GG called. MP, again, coming off the starting blocks really strong here with a strong performance against EFE Team. Yeah. Yep. Honestly, like, yeah, I mean, the fight between red and teal was very even. Like, it was basically a stalemate. It was really just a fight between blue and purple. And it all started when purple had an army down here, which got completely wrecked by the light gap from green. Hint, hint, if you have scouts left from the feudal age, upgrade them, because this is what they can do, right? Slay enemy archers fast. Right, so the light calf catching purple's army off guard. Purple then fell behind blue in army production, and blue really made use of that by consistently outproducing purple, going all over his economy, right, and killing a lot of villagers. Player 2 is such a noob. Yeah, well, I mean, if someone knows, then it will be you, huh, Arion? How you doing, man? On the other side, yeah, red. Simply, red, of course, couldn't help on the other side. But the problem was red never was really able to push against teal. For one, it was a stalemate. But then when green and yellow left the battlefield on this side, still, I think one of those things that really helped here was green and teal deciding not to go to the left-hand side, but instead keeping red and yellow busy in the back of red's base. That bought teal and green plenty of time to go to Imperial Age. It also bought blue plenty of time to finish off purple, right? So, yeah, those things. If yellow instead had sent his knights to the left-hand side to save purple, he may have been able to do that. Well, maybe not when blue made it Imperial Age. Of course, the risk there was that red would have lost his base, of course. But, I mean, ideally you draw green to you, right, if you do that. But Yeah, green played it well as well. His Cavaliers were over here, keeping yellow back from the left, because yellow actually at one point did send his knights to the left, right? He did send them that way to assist, right? Because green started raiding yellow's base, he had to send his knights back. After that, they hung out on the right-hand side, which is exactly what green and teal wanted. There was a diversion to allow blue to really hammer home on purple. Alrighty. Yeah, militarily, the KD, a lot better for MP. They were taking better fights. And of course, I mean, at the end of the day, you can look at this KD and say, oh yeah, MP was totally dominating. But remember, they also kind of slaughtered EFE Team right at the end there. Lots of villagers died there. So I think that KD is actually kind of deceiving. You know, like, I think in the actual military fights, it was pretty much even, except for purple. Purple's KD is pretty accurate there. But then, I mean, yellow lost like 50 villages there at the end, so that KD suddenly isn't very representative anymore, is it? Alright, economy-wise, yeah. Green with a crazy boom there. Kaliki from Boedo, he likes to boom. That's why I called him a boomer, alright. He certainly does a good job at that. If you let him alone with his economy, this is what happens, for sure. He even got relics. Wow, good stuff. Yeah, and of course he was far ahead of yellow. Which makes sense. Burgundians do have the better economy, but yeah, yellow, especially at the end, certainly wasn't able to catch up anymore. You can look at the vill count, 152 villagers. You might almost call that an overboom. Still more than 141 for yellow here. Yeah, of course, purple was never going to be able to catch up with that. He was too far behind. Alright, the fastest player here today was green with 69 and yellow with 69. Very nice. Nice APM. Yeah, we like that. Totally not immature or something like that. Alrighty, awesome. Alright, I should update the scoreboard. 1-0 for MP. Good stuff. We have ourselves a very good start to what I hope is going to be a great series. Alright, now let's have a look at the home maps and civilizations once more. Alright, so we go to one of the home maps for EFE Team. Now, the map that looks the most like Arabia is... Yeah, actually they both don't really look like Arabia, do they? You know, Kawasan is fish, so it's hybrid, but it's more closed off. So that's kind of like Arabia, but not Socotra has the aggression, which is also kind of like Arabia. So it's hard to tell exactly which of these two maps EFE Team is going to go for. But let's just pretend, you know, we'll just make a contingency for either of the maps. So either not Socotra or Kawasan. Let's see. For not Socotra, right? As I should probably also say, let's see, we lost with Magyars and with Chinese. We won with Burgundians, with Vietnamese, and with Koreans. There you go. Alright, so not Socotra. It will probably be a more YOLO approach, like Goths, Celts would be great civs for that. Aztecs would be good as well. Teutons, I said, was a great civ for not Socotra because of the cramped space. If it is, however, Kawasan, then you will see Japanese or Byzantines would be good. What else? We're looking at for a good hybrid civ here. I guess Hindustanis. Well, I guess that's okay. Khmer could work as well, but I think they were gonna keep Khmer for Colosseum. Yeah, I don't know exactly what the best pocket civ would be here. They don't actually have a really outstanding hybrid civ. A lot of those got banned, so that actually makes a lot of sense. For MP then, if it is not Socotra, probably something like Incas could be good. Slavs for farms, of course. Portuguese, if you want to get a lot of military out fast, or cheaply, I mean. Bulgarians could be pretty sweet. I wouldn't mind so much Vikings. You can go for a strong man-at-arm rush as well. If it is Kawasan, though, probably the Dravidians, probably Italians or Portuguese, either of the two, but probably Italians. And then Malian's actually a pretty good Kawasan civ because of the wood savings, makes a hybrid start a lot easier. So, alright, those are my predictions for those maps. But again, you can go for whatever you want, obviously. You can pick Goths on whatever map you want, you know. But of course, I get to laugh when you fail if you pick it on a map that really doesn't work for Goths. Like, say, Atacama. It's not the best Goth map, is it? Although, don't get me wrong, Goths can totally do well on any map. It all depends on strategy, and not trying to be greedy and boom until Imperial Age, which I know is the place you want to be, but you're not going to get there at every game. Unlikely. Most players know how dangerous that is. Alrighty, you guys ready for the second game? Let's see what map it is going to be for us. Let's have a look. It will be not Socotra. Oh boy, I had a hunch, but I didn't want to say. But not Socotra it is. So we go from Arabia to complete YOLO. Alright, well, let's see if EFE Team have a strategy prepared for not Socotra, because that is one of those maps that you really need to be prepared for, right? You really need to be prepared for it with some form of a strategy in order to perform well. So, let's see. Alrighty, welcome to Not Socotra, which really isn't Socotra. It's not Socotra. It's a different map, you guys. See, look at the name. It's not Socotra. There you go. From the Battle of Africa 2. Now, of course, this map is very much like Socotra, you know, because it has the same cramped setup here, but there's a few differences here. For one, no berries. Two boars, right? So if you get lamed, it's not the end of the world. And 3, no stones. So no tower rushes here, which means that if you go for a civilization like Incas, you're not going to be able to tower rush here, which of course is unfortunate. Now, Incas can do other stuff as well, but you get the drill. Anyways, let's introduce our players. We'll start with the home map team. In the purple, we have Alan EFE playing as the Goths. No surprises there. Expect to see one of those YOLO villagers go forward soon. In the yellow, we have Astrion playing as the Khmer. Alright, Khmer on not Socotra, that's fine too. In the red, we have Adion playing as the Mongols. Alright, that I can see that as well as a strong offensive civ with your faster hunt. And actually, I forgot about the fact that you have double hunt, right? On not Socotra. It's more hunt than normal because you don't have berry bushes. So Mongols actually not a bad civ here at all. Your uptime is probably going to be a lot better. Alright, Blue, who also lamed some sheep probably. I think he did. Anyways, he's playing as the Malay. It's Lochaf. Alright. In the green, we have Kaliki van Buedo playing as the Malians. Alright, Malians for not for Kawasan then, but then for not Socotra instead. That's fine. I would have saved it for Kawasan, but this is fine. And of course, we saw already Incas for Patrick here in the teal. Alrighty then, so we have our civilizations. Now we're gonna have to talk about this wacky map. Now, I already explained what makes this map different from Socotra, but at the end of the day, the same applies that this map is very cramped. Players are hopelessly close together, as Teal is already going to try to go for a Vil snap here. Okay, wall it in, wall it in, wall it in. Purple. He tried. He tried. Got Loom, but it was not in time to save that Vil, so Teal happily gets a Vil snipe, and we'll be very happy with that one. Yeah, as I said, TCs are very close together. You have plenty of gold as well, so that's not going to run out anytime soon. And it's not spread out across the map, so all your gold is around your TC. If you lose all your gold, that's it. There's nowhere to expand to. There's no extra golds to be taken on this map. None of that. Not even in the middle. It's just wasteland there. Actually, the middle might be the safest place to be. Most of the fighting tends to happen around the sides of this map. Now, because it is a very small map, team walling is eminently possible as well, which is probably what will happen eventually. Teams will start to team wall their sides, and if they keep their walls up, of course, they will have a very good position. Alright, what's happening on this side? Because teal and green are still being trolly on this side. As, yeah, they're trying to stop the wall off that purple is trying to go for over here, as you can see. Alright. Yeah, I just want to get comfortable, you know, comfortable, because I know that these players are not going to be comfortable, alright, playing not Socotra. Oh man, this is very opposite, as blue tries to snipe a villager, but that villager has no, it doesn't have loom, but red is here, just in time. Blue trying to block that Vil, but the town center is too close by. Blue loses some HP on his scout, and red is going to be able to push that right away. Alright, Mongol player saves the Vil, good stuff. Mongol player is also about to click up here before anyone else does, but my god, is looking at the Vilcons, actually, purple kind of behind here. Purple has plenty of ILTC time. It's still actually going up because he didn't queue any villagers. So yeah, he's actually behind by 2 villagers now, and of course by that villager that he lost to the scout from Teal. As very cute. Teal trying to block in Yellow's scout, but Yellow does manage to get out of there with his fast Khmer scout, and there he goes. Now, of course, I've seen plenty of strategies on this map, right? For one, you have You have the fast castle attempt that sometimes happens. I wouldn't do that personally on a map like this. It is simply too open. Very risky indeed. Usually what happens is it will just be a scout war. And you're going to have to produce a lot of scouts as well to match what your opponent is doing. Ooh, interesting. No team walling then from MP. Yeah, you could have easily connected these two walls, but I guess green says, yeah, you know what? I mean, blue's a nice guy and all, but I can't expose my villagers to try to save his people. It's just, I don't know, you know, it's fine. We're not that close, so it's fine. As, oh boy, where we going? The golf player coming forward now with loomed villages, but Teal already walling that in, and now the golf player is outside of these walls, and Teal now knows those villages are here, so I don't think Teal's going to be able to, I mean, Purple's going to be able to break in here. Well, if Teal doesn't wall this, that is. There you go. Good stuff. Alright, now, the scout is here to try to deny the villagers, but yeah, the villagers can't get in. I'm not sure what the plan here was, but I think, Purple, you're just gonna have to walk around here, because you're not getting in, my friends. The forward barracks as well, as Purple is just gonna be super YOLO with Goths. I mean, this is kind of what you expect for the Goth player, but, yeah, you're gonna have to walk around the long way. Which, again, green didn't wall off, so technically you still can do that if you want to. Alright, we have militia as well for red, which are trying to get into blue space, but the walls are up already, so the militia are not going to do too much here for blue. I mean, I guess you can upgrade them into men-at-arms, punch through the walls fast, but unlikely that's going to happen. Did Purple walk around, or did he just back up? I guess Purple sent the vills back, was like, you know what? Fine. I guess no, you know, fun troll shenanigans with Goths. It's fine. As there's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole. Oh, the militia sneaking past the palisade wall. And Teal is not happy about that one. Teal's people is proud. Proud! They will not let in outsiders. But Teal is idling a lot of his economy here. So, you know, that's still a win for Purple. Make him chase you. Purple also sniping the scout from Teal. There's some scouts here now for Green, which could have been somewhere else. As Purple will actually be able to kill both these scouts if Green is not very careful here. Oh, yeah. You can totally kill these scouts now. They're very weak indeed. I would consider that very good. Alright, on the other side, the Mongol player, you know, the early drush/feudal militia rush didn't really work out so much, as archers will be coming out for both players. Although, question is blue even going to make stuff here? Yeah, he is. He can't click up the castles. He can't click up the castles. Yeah, just checking when I see the Vil count and I see walls like that. And not a lot of military. You know, those things usually give stuff like that away. Red has gotten the walls up by now. A little bit of miscommunication here as Yellow actually walled this part, which is now a little double wall. Yellow got the walls up as well. It's on 2 stables already. But, guys, see, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. 2 stable opening. You can't afford that. You just can't. Let's have a look at the production time here for this stable. It's mostly idle, right? What about this stable? Not even used all the time. You really didn't need the second stable here. That's a waste of wood. Alright, Red still trying to break in on Blue's base, as you can see, but Blue's not having it. He's building houses behind. Still refusing to make military. Okay, now he's making skirmishes. Okay, fine, fair enough. Military is being made. What's going on the other side? Teal now, of course, since Purple delayed himself going for so many YOLO tactics, still has not gotten his archer range up, so as a result doesn't really have anything to defend himself, and the walls also are still open on Purple's end of the map. Red's still trying to break through, as skirmishes now will push away the archers. 1 scout breaking in for Yellow. There's still men-at-arms here for Purple, so he did get that upgrade. But this will be the end of the glorious men-at-arm rush. It did kill another scout, so I guess that is still value. It's good value for Purple. But yeah, at the end of the day, those men-at-arms are dead now, and Purple's going to have to make something else. Alright, some archers for Teal making their way to Yellow's base, only to find that it's completely walled, except right here. Is that open? No, there's a tree right there. Okay. Alright, well, at least Yellow now knows Teal's there. Alright, Red, who couldn't break into Blue's base, you know, sees all those house walls go up, it's like, fine, okay, fine, I'll try to not go into your base. You know what, guess I'm not invited. I'll just go to green's base instead. There you go. Well, breaking over here, and green has a kind of a predicament there because his gold is right next to his wall. So even if he keeps his archer army out, it still can range the gold from across the walls. Still, in the meantime, sending its archers back. Ooh, it looks like they want to take a decisive fight against the army group in the north here from yellow and from red. That's why teal's here. Now, if yellow is smart, he would spot that army. It's important that the scouts spot this army so they're prepared that this is coming in. Alright, well, yellow is actually... Yeah, he manages to escape with minimal losses here from teal. Teal's still chasing that, so he won't be chasing this instead. As indeed, the archers now get into this little hole, this little choke point, from which they can sit and hit this gold comfortably. And of course, green, who can already click up to the castles, he has enough gold for that, 230, that's enough. Of course, he can't stop this archer army from hitting the gold. Here comes blue, though. Blue, of course, has... Does he have upgrades? No, he doesn't. He does not. So it's a micro. Red can still win that. Meantime, purple is making archers, only 4 for him so far. So it's really red and yellow who are doing damage right now, or at least trying to. As blue is getting chased away by a militia, while red micros against these scouts for green. Good stuff. Alrighty, at the same time we have purple and yellow now putting pressure on teal's base. Teal is fully walled, actually double walled as well. Well, not entirely, of course. So I think teal will be okay for now. Has team walled but green, because green just didn't want to do it. And I mean, look at this, right? So because green refused to team wall with blue, red can still run all the way into the back of both their bases there, which is kind of annoying. Especially since the gold was right there. I mean, you wall like this, boom, you're done. So it's a bit of greediness from green, you know, he's like, I don't want to wall that way, even though this is actually more walling, but, it's fine. I mean, if any team wall will actually stay up, it will be not Socotra, right? Not Socotra, where you can actually go for a crazy team wall. Alrighty. Alright, let's go. So teal's archers are here now. Red did notice that in time, but does not have the numbers to fight this army at the moment. So he's going to have to keep himself safe and probably withdraw. Gathering, grouping up with purple as well. Now together with purple, they actually have more units on the field. So if they work together here, they may be able to do some damage. Now, blue, who has just been greedy for now, has been able to get up the castle much before anyone else. Melee definitely helping you there. So the crossbows will be coming out fairly soon. Until then, though, purple and red can still put some pressure on blue's base and certainly pick off these few archers that blue sent out into the field. Blue, why did you send out these archers? That was not good for blue. That early castle is now not going to do too much for him because he just lost his army. Now what's happening on this side? Teal, in the meantime, looking to push into purple's base. But all eyes should be on the right-hand side as teal and green are fighting it out in front of blue's base. Blue now has crossbows, but only 2 of them because he lost the rest. Right. Teal and green still trying to keep their armies alive and buy time for blue to get his freaking crossbow mass up. Teal not on the way to castle age, though. That's one thing. Not on the way to castle age. Purple's army got isolated from the rest of the army group and as a result suffers grievous losses. Annihilated almost to a man. Yeah. Almost, as blue now ejects the crossbows, and now a more dangerous force has appeared on the battlefield. But because green was busy annihilating purple, yellow getting a great fight here on the Incan archer. And this might even be more important because teal has a lot of archers, which are a lot more dangerous to EFE Team than the few crossbows that blue has at the moment. Red, though, trying to break in over here. He gets 1 snipe, that's good. But he's probably going to have to back up here, especially as crossbows make it. But the crossbows, there's only 9 of them, so technically red could take a fight. And red is thinking about it. He's thinking about it, but blue is microing back, staying outside of the range of red, as you can see. So red could never take that fight. Probably shouldn't take that fight. Green is here as well. Yeah, red, you should just back off. Okay, here comes yellow to buy some time. Buy some time. You may be able to take a fight now if you distract blue for long enough. Blue trying to kill the scouts. Red getting close now. Now red can actually fire with more archers. He's close enough now he can take the fight. And blue is losing most of his army there. But again, killing. You know, Red's action, of course, cost him dearly. As a lot of archers now lay dead on the battlefield. Yep, crossbows. Yeah, crossbows simply are the better unit. And red now losing all these archers. That's not good for red. Especially as he was about to get those upgrades. Not going to be able to get those upgrades on his archers. Well, he will get the upgrades, but there won't be any archers to upgrade anymore. Alright, the Siege Workshop now going up for purple as he tries to defend himself. Is purple... Ooh, there's one thing we didn't talk about. Remember what goths like to do? They like to use Huskarls, Huskarle, against the enemy archers. But there's no stone on this map, so if you want to have Huskarls, you're going to have to buy the stone in order to get a castle up. It's unlikely that someone is going to build a castle here unless you buy it, which you need a good economy for to do that. So I don't think that's probably going to happen anytime soon. Now, if you do get Huskarls on the field, if you get a castle, I mean, you can get Anarchy, meaning you can build Huskarls from your barracks, so you can actually go for that unit as well. But Huskarls do die to knights, but they kill archers. That's kind of the thing. So that may be worth it, right? If you can get enough of an economy out, you may be able to buy a castle here. I mean, purple is banking up a lot of gold here. He's not making archers right now. He's getting the crossbow upgrade, but still. He may want to try to go for that. Will be pretty good if he does that. Alright, green and blue now laying siege to purple, as purple losing that fight against blue at the end of the day now simply does not have the crossbow numbers to compete to match what blue is doing. And green of course has enough knights to keep the balance in their favor. Right. That's a tree line, that's not blue. I know it looks almost the same, but the color of trees is so poorly chosen as... Oh! Teal! Oh, Teal thought, oh, I'm gonna march out there and come out with my awesome crossbow army. I'm gonna kill everything. And then there was a mangonel there. That was lucky. That could have been much worse. That could have been much, much, much worse. Holy crap. Oh, wow. Alright then. Let's see. Green now is still has enough knights at least to keep yellow away from the melee player, right? That's what you want. Right now, also joining the fight, has a nice heal here, but of course, you're sitting right next to a siege workshop, which will make anyone antsy, right? Because that's very dangerous. The mangonels, though, Teal should be very careful. Patrick. Patrick. Makes me think of SpongeBob. Good times. I love SpongeBob. Alright, well, yellow and red still trying to put pressure on blue. At least, the least thing that it's doing is keeping blue from attacking red, which still is a win, I'd say. As, yet another shot on the crossbows. Not as many crossbows this time, but still, as the camels and knights clean out the mangonels, and the goth player, once again, is going to lose his army. On the other side, yellow, of course, now has more knights because green split up his army, but still more crossbows for blue. 35 for him, 27 for the Mongol player. That's still pretty good. Mongol player could totally switch into cavalry archers at some point, although right now it's too tricky to do that. Because it requires some upgrades before it's effective. And cavalry archers need mobility, which you cannot have, really, on Not Socotra. You see how cramped this space is? Where do you go? As yellow decides to take a fight, loses some knights on the way in and out. So I'm not sure if that was the best fight for them then. As, bigger shot. I want more bada boom. Start it. Alright, well, we'll get some at some point. Teal can't be paying attention like a boss to his archers all the time now, can he? I don't know. He's gonna mess up at some point, and when he does, we will be there. Haha. As he does X the fact that there's knights here and a mangonel, he's like, yeah, you guys, I can't move out if there's a mangonel and knights. That's not gonna work. On the other side, green still has his army, blue still has his army, but still, it is more military still for MP, 93 versus 64, and more economy as well for MP, so... I don't know, man, I don't know. This is not, the numbers aren't lying. There's certainly a lead now for MP. You know, especially as they are booming, you know, especially green with 76 villages is far ahead of everyone else, and blue with 80 villages. Yeah, man, MP, they're the boomers, man. They boom really good. Every game I've seen of them so far, that's what they do every game. As, oh, yellow try to go 40 crossbows, red tries to get close with a mangonel, almost does it. Mangonel has HP. Oh, one more shot. Oh, great shot in the middle of the crossbows. The knights are here as well, as blue is losing mass really quickly there. red at the same time, killing a lot as well. There's a lot of camels in here for green, which indeed are good against knights, but they suck against crossbows. So if they get close to red's lines, you will see that the camels will fast die here. Mangonel also keeping blue away a little bit, but the Mangonel gets sniped by the few knights that were there, and blue is going to have to sound the retreat here as he is still outpopped by blue, and you know, with red only having 19 archers versus 26. He is producing from 4 ranges though, so he will be able to get those numbers up fast, I hope. No ballistics yet though, that's kind of a big deal. Need ballistics. Oh, yellow is sending in the reinforcements from the other side, and now it's blue actually. Blue who is caught in between a rock and a hard place. The few camels that green sent in do a number though on yellow, but yellow now pulling back his knights after blue's crossbows have been slaughtered. Good stuff. And that was a very tricky fight, but at the end of the day, good for yellow and red. Wiping out some army. As Teal! Teal's trapped! He's trying to escape! Oh, beautiful attack growth for purple. You knew exactly where Teal was going to go. Oh, I can't believe that didn't kill more. I can't believe that didn't kill more. That's crazy. Anyway, purple has a hole now. He could decide to chase that, but Teal is getting out of there with his 46 crossbows. Man, imagine getting stuck in a choke point and then the Mangonel hits and like 20 crossbows die. Be beautiful. I'm telling you, Teal, you're playing with fire, man. You're playing with fire. Oh man. That's hilarious. Alright, well, red and yellow actually have more military now on the right-hand side, as blue lost most of his army. Green, of course, has plenty of army to go around, but most of it is camels, which will die to crossbows, although purple doesn't have a whole lot of crossbows. One thing also that's kind of sus is the fact that MPs still have way more villagers than EFE Team. It makes sense, because the entirety of EFE Team is just one TC. So they're not on multiple TCs, as the Golf Mangonels are going to get clobbered now. Oh, nice shot again. Teal, you're playing with fire. One of these days, one of those Mangonel shots is going to land. Not going to be right now, though, because Teal and Green recognizing, okay, there's more army on this side. Let's punish all that YOLO golf play on this side. Let's go. On the other hand, though, yellow trying to find a way into green's base. So technically, there is a hole right there. Some knights actually made it through. Of course, full camel play from green will be able to deal with that soon. Yeah, making camels to defend your own home base as the pocket is totally fine. That's always okay. You know, except if there's archers there as well, then you're not gonna have a bad time. Now, yellow better get a lot of kills for his knights there, because otherwise he's not going to get a lot of value. Let's have a look at the villager KD. Alright, 14 losses for green, so green definitely took some losses there. It evens out the KD between yellow and green. The problem is, you're inviting a lot of pressure on yourself as well, as as teal and green are destroying on this side. And purple, who simply does not have the armor to deal with that, is trying. He's trying, but he just simply can't. Mangonel will go down as well, as teal now streams over to yellow's base. Oh boy. At the same time, knights also in blue's base. We got some mangonels as well, as blue does not have the armor to deal with that. Red still holding on in the front. Blue is sending back the crossbows now, as red has to run away now because the villagers come. And nice attack round on some of these villagers. Nicely done. On the other side, yellow realizing in time that teal had indeed broken through the team walls, is now in yellow's base. And my god, what a lot is happening at the moment. For who is this going to be better at the end of the day? Purple is chasing that with a mangonel. You know that purple wants to get at least one kill here with at least one big bada boom with the mangonels. Red's mangonels are still alive, actually. Still putting pressure on blue's down center. They're in range now, though, so shoot the crossbows, the crossbows. Oh, that would have been much better. Crossbows for teal sitting on a hill, as purple is still hunting. He's hunting, but he must get a shot at some point. There you go. That will be a good shot. Purple was not paying attention to that one at the same time. Mangonel, it's hunting. It is hunting. Teal and green in the back of red's base now, as yellow is hitting all his villagers. Oh boy, here come the camels and the knights. Not able to kill the mangonel though, but green sees it. He sees it, and he immediately seizes the opportunity to kill that. And the mangonel goes down, and now teal can join the fight, and yellow is going to have to back up once again. At the same time, blue and green breaking through the defenses on the north as red was on the way to Imperial Age. But is he actually going to get there? His archers are in the back fighting against teal, and teal taking a trade there. Blue on the way to Imperial Age as well. And red is about to get overwhelmed here, trying to get at the imp himself. His Imperial Age army is getting cleaned up. Yes, teal is losing a lot of crossbows as well. That's true, but I think they got their value for it. I think so. And they didn't actually kill that many villagers, actually. So, you know, it's okay. Mangonel still on teal on the other side without enemy cavalry support. He's not going to be able to do too much here. But, I mean, right now the cavalry support is necessary on the other side. Imperial Age is in for red. So, at least he will have arbalists now. But only 11 of them. So, not a lot of Imperial Age military indeed. As the villagers get ejected from the town center, red trying to repair this TC so he can still garrison the vills, but green is going to take that down, or at least he's trying to. And there you have it. The GG is called. Oh, EFE Team tapping out on their home map. It is 2-0 now for MP, who are looking really strong. They're looking really strong indeed. Oh boy. Remember, this is a best of 5, which means if EFE Team lose one more game, then they're out of a chance to go to the finals. MP is looking dominant right now. Like, they have better economies, better military production. You know, there were some critical fights that they were able to at least win half. I think especially on the left-hand side, you know, making sure that the Goth player could never really go for a real successful attack. You know, I can only wonder what would have happened if the Goth player would have just gone for infantry here. Like, I know you're not an Imperial Age, but you can still afford Huskarls, right? Like, if he had just bought a castle, right? Drop a castle right in the middle of your town, right there on the front, so the teal can never push that, right? And just start making Huskarls from barracks, including Huskarls and pikemen. I mean, what are teal and green gonna do against that? Well, they have better economies, so it's not like it's impossible. I think at that point, what the Inca player does is make... oh yeah, actually... Yeah, that's actually a good thing. And now I'm thinking maybe that may not be a good idea. Because if the Inca player sees you make infantry, what do you think they're going to do? They'll say, well, I actually have a unique unit that is very relevant here. I'll make some slingers. And slingers will absolutely sling the Goth player right out of this game. Damn melee, bro. I clicked up first, but he was the imp first. Yeah, just melee things, huh? Just melee things. Yeah, that fact that you research your next age upgrade so much faster really helps you either economically, because you can go up later but still arrive at the same time, or militarily, you can get to your next stage much faster than anyone else. I lost all my expos trying to defend player 4 and player 5. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. This fight right there was not good for red because he didn't have anything to upgrade to Arbalest. If he did have Arbalest, he would have been able to defend himself a little bit, but yeah. Yep. Not so good for EFE Team, is it? Not so good indeed. They're going to have to pull out the big guns if they want to be able to beat MP. I mean, MP showing why they were the champions last time, you know, on in the Virgo Cup VI. If you look, yeah, especially economy-wise, like it wasn't even close, right? EFE Team wanted to go all in, try to overwhelm their opponents with a lot of military early on. The thing was, MP, even though they boomed, they were able to match that military, if not have more military even throughout most of this game. And of course, the longer the game goes, the worse that gets, as EFE Team, of course, falls behind in the vill count and, of course, in economy, as you can see. And that's the downside of going all in, as you can see. It gets worse and worse and worse as the game progresses. Fastest player today here was, again, green with 69 APM. Wow, he's very consistent with his APM, isn't he? Very nice once more, sir. Good stuff. All right. Well, this is actually the first 2-0 that we've had in a semifinal so far. I can't believe it, but EFE Team, they are struggling right now. Well, they have one more home map left. Let's have a look at it, shall we? Here you go. Alright, so it's a loss on Not Socotra, so we're gonna go to Kawasan next. So let's have a look at what we have. First, pick out the civs, a win with Malay, win with Malians, and a win with Incas. Alright, Malians actually helping a lot with those camels. That would have actually been a lot more difficult otherwise. Khmer loss, ooh, that's gonna suck for Colosseum later. Goth loss, and a Mongols loss. Alright. So, with what we have left, we have Colosseum left, Dry River, you know, as the maps for MP, so you do need to keep that in mind. I think Colosseum, I would save Teutons, right, for that. Then use Hindustanis either on Dry River or on this map, on, what was the map again? Kawasan, right? You could use poles as well. Which is better, Hindustanis or poles? I think Hindustanis have the better boom, so you may want to use that on Kawasan, where you can actually get away with that. But then on Dry River, it's the same situation, so it's a good question. Good question. Dry River has a lot more fish, though, so yeah. I know. Thanks for your casting, Prince. Well, thank you for playing, Kalakero. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. You guys are playing awesome so far. Makes it a lot of fun for me to cast it, of course. Japanese is for Kawasan, so Japanese for sure. Byzantines probably as well. So I think Byzantines, Japanese, and then probably maybe Teutons actually. You know, because you don't have to go for Teutons and Colosseum. Teutons should do okay here as well, because there's not enough fish that you could definitely say, oh, you don't need any farms. You will still need farms, so it's okay. For MP, probably either Portuguese or Italians, one of the two for sure. You may want to use Dravidians here, and then as the pocket civ, I wouldn't go for Slavs, maybe Sicilians or Bulgarians, one of the two. I would save Slavs for Colosseum. That's probably the better civ there. Alrighty. Oh, Alan F, hello, thanks, great casting. Why, thank you, I appreciate that. And you guys great playing, so I'm enjoying myself so far. Oh yeah, right. So far for the civs. Let's go into the third game. Now, this is a critical game. It is a match point. Of course, everyone is shouting right now. We want EFE Team to win one because we want a longer series. I'm sorry, MP. We are biased like that, of course. We want long series. That's what we want. So, yeah. I mean, we're gonna need EFE Team to win at least 2 games here. After that, it's a toss-up, you know, between who gets to win then. But I want 5 games. Come on, we can do this. Alright, so, let's go, Kawasan. Let's see, can EFE Team stay in this series? Because all is hanging in the balance now. Let's go. Alright, so, let's introduce EFE Team first, because this is their home map, Kawasan. In the red, we have Byzantines for Alan Efe. Very good, very good. In the yellow, we have Teutons for Astrion, that's what we thought. And then in the purple, we have Adion playing as the Japanese. Again, no surprises here whatsoever. In the blue, we've got Laucha playing as the Italians. Alright, that's good, that's what we thought. In the green, we have Sicilians for Kalechi from Buedo. Yeah, again, that's what we thought. But there's one surprise here. Patrick playing as the Vikings. Yeah, now, of course, we do have a reservation about Vikings on Kawasan. It basically means you forfeit water in Feudal Age, because you don't get fire galleys, so then you're going to have to fight with demo ships, which are kind of a one-time thing, right? They kind of explode when you use them. You don't get to, like, keep those alive for a long time. And galleys, even with Vikings, they're simply not going to be able to survive in a small pond like this. It's so unlikely. You're going to have to use longboats if you want to do that, actually. And even then, longboats need maneuverability, so Vikings simply hard time fighting over the pond. Now, if your opponent doesn't dock, then of course, no trouble. But, I mean, red pick Byzantines. What, do you think he's not going to dock and fight for the pond? There is simply no way he's not going to do that. Byzantines are one of the better civilizations to fight for this pond because they have faster attacking fire galleys, which of course dominate, especially Vikings. Now, but hear me out. Vikings may be a good civ for Patrick, though, because we have seen Patrick, right? He is a pretty, he's a very good flank player. And I'm not saying that lightly. The reason is, pretty much every game that I have seen from MP, Patrick almost outbooms the pocket. And we know that Kalechi likes to boom, right? So, I mean, he's supposed to, he's the pocket. That's what you need to do here. The flanks don't have to boom, necessarily, to win. Don't have to boom in particular, but what do you mean? Check out his start. Check out his start, please. You mean like his starting positions or what? Because right now, no idle TC time. He's still producing. He is pushing in his hunt. He's on wood. Is he gonna dock soon? Yeah, but I think Patrick will be able to get a boom going at least as he's bringing in a boar. Hold on. Okay, let's hold on. We'll wait. As boar, all right, boar's brought in. The villager doesn't die. When he goes for the when he goes for the dock. Oh, you mean right now? Ah. So Teal not only has the balls to dock forward as Viking, he's not even gonna get the dock up. Oh, the quick wall. Nice save there. Really nicely done. You knew that was coming, huh? Well, there you go. That's what teammates are for. But the boar on the TC. Well, I mean, it's not under the TC, but that's okay. I mean, maybe the second one. Anyways, of course, now Teal bringing in a scout can win this fight now against Yellow. And Yellow, who was hoping for a Vil snipe, unfortunately is not going to get it. Wait. Alright, Teal's going to try to finish it. Red coming in, though. Red has more HP than Teal. Red can totally snipe this villager. Teal, again, is going to have the wall in this Vil. Okay, does a good job at that. I think Teal will get this dock up now. It's fine. Wait. Teal? Teal? There's a hole. Teal? No! Teal! Oh, come on! He had it! All that work for nothing! Oh, man. That's hilarious. Oh, Teal. Oh, man. That's really funny. Teal thought he was fine, and then Red still came back, got that Vil snipe. He killed the boar with the TC as well. Oh, he just did, didn't he? Oh, things went from bad to worse. I bet he tried to snipe Yellow's skull. Is that what he tried to do? All right, well, I think Teal's gonna have a bad time now. No dock and no second boar. It's kind of a double whammy, isn't it? And of course, if you're gonna try to dock still on this side, yeah, Red is going to be far ahead of you now. So, a 2k move and a 1k move. Yeah, right? Exactly. Masterful quick wall, and then... Yeah, the follow-up wasn't very fortunate for Teal there. Well, I guess you guys were right for hanging around Teal. I bet Patrick loves you guys so much right now for making me watch that so that the entire world could see it as well. I bet he's like, yeah, thanks, guys, thanks. You know? Just you wait, when you shoot your boar with the TC, I'm gonna tell Red Prince that as well, so he will see. We have an unloomed villager for Purple that gets slain by the tiger. Look at there, she's very happy now. You know, it took a lot out of her, as you can see, but she does have food for her children now. There you go. I guess Purple will be happy with that. Alrighty, now. We have a forward dock from the Italian player, no surprises there, but Purple actually didn't go for a forward dock. Another 1k move. Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna go for a far wall off on Kawasan, there is wild animals there, so you know that may happen there. Purple's not going to fight for the dock. The way that he's walling, he's not walling next to the water because he knows that if he does that, the ships will just destroy it. He's walling the rest of his base as well, so Purple's just going to try to keep himself as safe as possible. He is going to be the defending player. Red, though, way more aggressive. He is walling to the dock. He's expecting to win water, and of course he knows that Teal didn't, well, at least if he tried to dock, he lost the villager doing so, and Teal is going to give up on that one. Teal's not even going to dock. Teal says, you know what? Screw water. Screw it. I'm just going to go for land aggression. It's fine. I'm going to go fast castle. There. Well, I mean, right now he's struggling to get up to the next stage, so he will get there eventually. But Red, of course, is far ahead, and this is looking alright for EFE Team now. It's looking alright. It's a good start, although Green gets a snipe there on the wood line for Red. That means that Red didn't react in time, otherwise he would have maybe been able to stop that with all these villagers. But yeah. Good snipe for Green as he tries to do the same thing again, but yeah, this time he doesn't have the HP for that, so he needs to find a villager that Red forgot about. That's the only way that he can snipe one, like a villager like this. But I mean, if Red is paying attention, he should never lose a vill to that scout anymore. But unfortunately, scouts do not attack automatically. I mean, villagers don't attack scouts automatically anymore in Feudal Age. So unfortunately, if you're not paying attention, this scout can still kill stuff. Alright, Yellow is Xing something. The fact that there's more scouts coming forward and the scouts being met by a welcome committee. No, he's like, no sir, stay here. You know, I'm just trying to greet you. Yeah, but of course this guy carrying the holy staff is pushing away the green scout. Green will go back to report to his king about this grave diplomatic insult. Alright, well, blue has the team walls up, but I guess he still feels the need to wall behind, because I guess he doesn't trust green, I mean, to get the walls up, which green... What is it with Kaliki, man? He doesn't want a team wall. He just doesn't want it. He's like, I have team walled enough in my days. They always get broken, and then I always suffer, you know, the worst move there. So, you know, you're gonna screw right off with that one. You know, I'm just gonna wall my own base and be done with it. There you go. Well, I mean, it is forcing everyone else to make walls as well. So, I mean, Teal went for small walls. That makes sense because he is still not in feudal age. Now he is. Let's see. Are we going to be able to go to castle age? We're dropping a blacksmith. We didn't drop a barracks, so I think Teal is going to attempt to do that now. Vikings do have really good economy, so he may be able to get away with this. Of course, red, because he went for docks, he didn't invest on water because he knew that Teal wasn't on water. It took him a while to get some archers out. Here they are. I'm not sure he's going to be able to kill Teal before he makes it to castle age, though. We'll be okay. Teal breaking through on that side. Slowly. And I would definitely suggest to red to wall behind this again, because this wall is really far away from your TC, which means that it takes a while to send a villager there to help. In the meantime, blue is happily fishing on water, of course, so is purple. As we have some green scouts now trying to find their way to yellow. Yellow is also making scouts, so it's scout v scout. 7 scouts for both players. Of course, Sicilian scouts are kind of strong, aren't they? As, ooh, red fighting his way into the berries now for Teal, who has just clicked up to the castle age. But now some early archers from red are slowly, well, doing some damage at least. They don't have fletching, so they can't kill villagers very easily. Oh, one more hit, one more hit, one more hit. Oh, close call there for Teal, saving that bill. Oh, that's what you get for not having fletching when you move out with archers. It's going to be really difficult to kill stuff. Alright, well, red and yellow are going to walk around the TC, of course, try to get into Teal's base. But Teal's base is so cramped, there's literally nothing to hit right now. I mean, yellow could run through if he wanted to. You could try to. I think if you get some upgrades, you could totally do that. If oh, green though, bringing in the scouts from behind, but red bringing in some spearmen, killing one scout already, and green can't help Teal here. Teal's gonna have to survive on his own, as green losing a bunch of scouts now. Then the spearmen are getting a little bit too overcourageous. They're like, yeah, we're on top of the world right now, attacking a farm. Yeah, that wasn't so good, was it? On the other side, ooh, a doubt archer range for purple, as blue noticed that, and purple's going to have to take a fight now in order to get that range up. Luckily, purple, even with 1 archer range, did have, well, actually 2 archer range, did have the better production, and both players now microing, but both players moving when the other player is shooting. There you go. Micro for purple is a little bit better there. Yeah, I think that was fair to say. As blue lost all his archers, you know, I think that kind of proves it, doesn't it? Purple also had more units, I mean. That definitely helps as well. Age of Empires is a snowballing game. Now, Teal makes it to the castle age before everyone else. Good showing there. You know, of course, he's going to get some archers out. And this, of course, is what Vikings can do, right? They can get away with a lot. But, of course, remember, Teal does not have that cheap food from water. You know, that sweet, sweet fish that everyone else has. Yeah. Alright, green, after losing a bunch of scouts to the spearmen from red, now of course, does not have the numbers to match what yellow is doing. Both yellow and green did click up to the castle age. As a result, green did not have the resources to spam more scouts. Or if he did, he wouldn't be able to go to castle age. Alright, it will be Sicilian night soon, so spearmen will not help you anymore. Oh yeah, actually, killing those Sicilian scouts, despite them resisting spearmen and other counter units. So that's pretty good as well. Alright. Purple now knocking on the door in Blue's town. Yeah, blue has 10 archers. Purple is knocking on the door with 12. So purple does have more archers for the time being. Red is here as well. And they're looking to do some damage to green, who has fully walled. And I guess at this point, green's little walls here are vindicated. I tried to raid a couple of times in this game, but they didn't let me. They were alert all the time. Well, there you go. That is of course exactly what they should be. Be alert for the dangerous Kaleki from running into their base and raiding. Yeah. Now, for now, the scouts have indeed not done too much. You know, whereas yellow is still with red, and here we go. Well, blue is actually walled in the back, right? So it's probably a good idea that he did that. The thing is Blue going to be able to hold on both sides? Blue's now going to have to send his army to the left to defend his walls, as Green has led the enemy right to them. Oh, Green. Of course, Green is trying to lead this army away to, you know, make it idle, because right now Red's army is not doing anything. Right? And this is buying a lot of time for Teal as well to get his archers out. But, of course, what doesn't help is the fact that you need more villagers on farms now, whereas Red doesn't need to put any villagers on farms because that's what he has fishing ship for. This is why fishing ship is so important on this map. And this is why if you don't go for fish, you do tend to fall behind eventually. Alright, some knights coming out now for green, but some knights coming out as well for yellow. But those knights have a longer time getting all the way to the other side of the map. We could totally get the light cav upgrade as well, but not for yellow, because yellow is Teutons, and Teutons don't get the light cav upgrade. Do they? No, they don't. So it will be scouts forever as yellow tries to break through. Oh, very close. Green just in time. Knights coming in the side now. The yellow is going to sacrifice his scouts to keep this army alive. Spearmen are going to do absolutely nothing here because, of course, they do, what? 15 attack versus cavalry is just 7. That's nothing. It's nothing. As Red's archers will eventually go down here. And Red realizes that as well. He's not even going to bother microing them because it's knights with +2. Your archers do absolutely nothing but tickle your opponent. Alright, looks like purple did move out against blue, but didn't find blue. And as a result, blue snuck through. And now blue is right there. Now purple can cut off the reinforcements as well, which would be good. Yeah, kill those. But blue actually noticed this before, so now blue is sending those away so they don't get killed. Now, purple's chasing this army. It's 23 versus 22. Italian crossbows versus Japanese crossbows. They are exactly the same. They're both generic. It's going to depend on who has the better micro here. Let's see. 2 crossbows. 4 crossbows dying for purple versus 3 for blue. So again, slightly evening out the score here. Actually, blue with 1 more crossbow now. But, of course, purple has the reinforcing advantage. It's 30 crossbows now for purple. So blue is kind of trapped in no man's land. Teal's on the way to try to break in, but of course red followed that advice that I gave, which of course every player that knows this map will know. You got a wall behind this because this wall is too flimsy. And even that palisade wall, maybe even a third would have been good. Alright, in the meantime, red is breaking into Teal's base, and Teal's base is still super cramped, so there's actually still not a whole lot of space for red to hit with the crossbows. I mean, Teal's being super efficient with his space for now. That much is clear. Of course, Teal's army isn't here, but Green's army is. Green with the +2 coming in from behind. Yellow without any knight support. Unfortunately, was not able, is fortunately not going to be able to keep his army alive for much longer here. He's doing a great job with the micro there, killing as many knights as he can. Now, you want to click and target the weak knights here. Click those 2 first, because a weak knight can still does full damage, right? Yeah, as red is clicking the weak knights. There you go. That's 1, 2, weak knight, the weak knight, the weak knight. Yeah, like when you're fighting knights, you want to like kind of hover over the knights and find the weak knights first. Because if you kill those, it lessens the numbers, and numbers is all that the knights have. At the end of the day, though, he did weaken the knights enough that yellow could take a fight here and now even chase down these crossbows. Now, Teal is going to do the same thing. Micro back as yellow tries to get a surround. He gets a partial surround, but not enough to stop the crossbows for Teal. Teal's sitting in a choke point, but with only 10 crossbows here, will not be able to keep those alive much longer. Green is here to reinforce as, what's going on the other side? We have a giant house wall now for blue, as blue is trying desperately to keep purple's army out. Blue's crossbows are in the south. They're being brought back home right now. I'm not sure. How did yellow and purple get in? I guess they just broke a palisade wall right here. All right. Oh, yellow and purple now find themselves trapped inside blue's base, as purple now takes a fight against blue. But it is 39 versus 31 crossbows, so yellow has to come into the fight as well. Yellow tries to run through, blue backing up a little bit, as purple is chasing in the meantime. Blue trying to get some free hits in on the knights. He does not have ballistics, so yellow could still dodge this. He's getting Thundering right now, as purple uses this to retreat. No, we're going to move forward. We're going to attack now, as we made a cavalry archer with Italians. Well, I mean, you get most of the upgrades. I don't think you get Parthian tactics, though. Alright, well, of course, blue bought himself enough time for green to join the fight as well. And there you go. It's now crossbow v crossbow and knight v knight. But way more knights for the for MP right now, as MP are going to chase purple, and purple knew exactly what time it was. He's going to try to run away as far as he can to save himself. That is half his army right there. If he can make it back to his base, he may have a chance to survive, but he still has a long way to go. It's quite a bit of walking, and green and blue, they are chasing this relentlessly. No yellow to be seen anywhere. Yellow is actually going for a raid right now forward against green, who again is outproducing yellow actually. 18 knights versus 17. Remember, 2 knights, more armor, of course. As green was going the other way now, maybe hoping to cut purple off, but purple now manages to reunite with his army and now has the bigger force here. As blue takes a fight, but I'm not sure if that's a good fight to take, as purple has way more units on the field at the moment. Initial fight was pretty good for blue, but at some point the numbers start to matter, and blue is losing a lot of crossbows here. Yep. Blue losing his army is disastrous for the war effort for MP on the left-hand side, because you do need those crossbows, don't you? Purple at the same time holding out the knight raid, and those knights really should have been there to save blue from purple, and now blue is just going to lose all the crossbows, and purple has half his army left still. On the other side, red managing to get into teal's base. Teal was trying to stonewall, but that did not go up, as purple is now teal's now going to fall behind, or at least trying to cut off the retreat here for red, as red is just happy trading against these crossbows. It is now 18 crossbows versus 12 on this side, as blue. Ooh, he forgot the horse color upgrade. So many Dark Age firearms, 26 of them. That's a lot of wood. That's a lot of wood. Aye. Expensive upgrade to forget. He also forgot the second wood upgrade, so that kind of explains why his economy is not as good as the Japanese economy. Look at that. Japanese player clicking up the imp. All right. Faster imp now for the Japanese player, who has a good economy behind this, and of course benefiting from all this juicy fish. Although he's going to need to build some fish traps now, for which he does not have the wood. Yellow though, running right into teal's base. Teal has no army to speak of at the moment, and teal's gonna suffer some losses now, because you can only hide so many villagers in your TC. Yeah, so teal, who was indeed trying to boom 69 villagers, very nice, not so much anymore, as teal is starting to lose some vills now. He's lost 26 villagers so far. It has not been a good game for teal. He wasn't able to keep his army alive for too long, and he lost all that precious economy. He would have had like 80 villagers right now. Not anymore. It's 50 vills for teal. But he's just raiding everywhere, as yellow is just destroying everything right now. Castle in the middle as well for yellow, who is keeping control of all those berries. May also gather all the relics. There you go. 2 relics already. If only he had been Lithuanians, that would have been nice, huh? Yep. Where's Green's army right now? Green's making knights from 4 stables. That means all in Castle Age, because you cannot, you won't be able to go up to Imperial Age anytime soon if you're producing from 4 stables. It's gonna take a while, even with Green's incredible economy, right? Yellow has a worse economy, but yellow is producing from 3 stables instead, so he will at some point be able to go to imp here. Also, yellow is completely overwhelming teal right now. As was that a monk? Why was there a monk there? That's weird. How did you get that monk there? That monk must have walked past TCs, man. That's crazy. All right. Agree now again, trying to go for a raid, but yeah, the walls are definitely kind of up here. Yeah, it's fortified. Kawasan is one of the more fortifiable maps in this tournament, obviously, and for that very reason. Now, blue sees that purple is an imperialist. The immediate thing that blue is going to try to do here is try to catch this army and kill it first, right? Shift, comma. What's that one for? What for capture rate, or what? For, you mean in the game? Because I don't know what that is the hotkey for. Yeah, I mean, green again tries to raid, but with 26 knights, which are mostly still at home, he's not going to be able to do that much damage. And now it is Arbalest. All military units. Oh, I see what you did there. Okay, so what yellow is saying here, he went for the all military units hotkey, which also brings in monks. There you go. Okay, that explains it. I was already like, why would you bring a monk to that fight? But yeah, that wasn't intentional then. Still impressive. Impressive that Monk walked right next to town centers that were shooting at him and crossbows that were shooting at him. I guess he really did believe in a god there. And I mean, whatever god he was voting for there, it certainly kept him safe. Impressive. Alright. Well, here comes Purple. Of course, Purple with a Trebuchet coming out already, and Blue, who had worse economy than Purple did. I mean, it's kind of comparable now that the upgrades are actually in, but still, actually, Green also lacking an upgrade there. No bow saw for him. Kind of matters at some point. All right, a nice castle there for Red to keep. Teal is stuck in his base. Teal, of course. Yeah, it's not gonna love life, because remember, Vikings, they love going to Imp fast. That's kind of the whole thing with Vikings. You have a better economy, and then you go to Imp before your opponent, and then you strike. But with this castle in his face, there's just no way that Teal's gonna be able to strike out. On the other side, Purple has stone-walled up the side. Okay, Purple really doesn't want to get hit in the side now. He's like, none of that anymore. I'm gonna wall that off right there. Good stuff. And is now walking right into Blue's town. Blue has an army. He just needs to keep it alive while he gets the Arbalest upgrade. Half a minute away. And at that point, it will be a stalemate-ish for Purple and for Blue. On the north, though, it's nothing but domination for Yellow and Red. As Red is an Imperial Age as well, and Yellow is almost there. Before Green gets there, by the way. As Green knows what time it is, he's getting reflecting on his town centers now, so they do more damage. One castle, unfortunately, on the wrong side. You know, that's where we thought the pressure was coming in. But now, of course, that castle doesn't help him against Red and against Yellow, who find their way into Green's town before Green can get his upgrades. Yellow's getting his upgrades as well. It's 1 minute away, so if Green wants to take a fight, it's right now. But he can't take a fight, not with Red there. Teal can't come and help him, because if Teal tries to walk out of his base, he's gonna lose all his crossbows. Man, already back to 94 villagers. Jesus Christ. Patrick, man. Spams those villagers. Create more villagers. But just, you know... He takes that taunt to heart, that's for sure. Alright, there we have it. A giant cavalry melee, which of course will be won by Green, who has the better numbers for now. But Red, of course, Yellow knows if he sticks with Red, then Green can't win this fight. He just can't. Upgrades now in. Cavalier will be in as well. Way before it will be in for Green, as Yellow is sending in the reinforcements at the same time. With a giant archery clash in the south as well, as Blue is trying to send in some archer, you know, he's trying to delete the house wall just to make sure that more arbalists come through. There's only 33 on the field right now versus 38. The Trebuchet also tanking some fire as well, as are the Capdram, as oh, it's a doubt. I'm not sure what upgrade that was coming in for Purple, for Blue I mean, but it did not come in. It didn't come in. There you go. Paladin on the way for Yellow, an upgrade that the Sicilian player can never get. Sicilian certainly struggling against heavily armored units at the end of the game, and I guess Teutons are the worst, you know, the worst of the worst at that, as Green is now going to try to take the best fight he can probably take here, and after that, if that doesn't go well, this fight is going in the favor for Green. He's probably gonna call it. As Red's archers are still alive, doing a lot of damage there, and there you go. Green slowly losing all his Cavalier mass, as Yellow manages to keep his Cavalier in front of Red, and without Green killing these Arbalests, there's just no hope anymore now. You know, even if Purple loses his entire army now to Blue, it doesn't matter. You know, because, and that didn't even happen. Blue loses his army, Teal is losing on this side, and my god, through the eye of the needle, EFE Team may very well stay in this series for the time being. A game that they had to win. They had to win this game. They're still here. They're still there. They're still alive. And yeah, MP are probably going to have to tap out at some point here. Once Paladin are in, there's nothing that Green can do anymore. Simply nothing. I mean, for the first time in a long time, MP actually have fewer villages than EFE Team. And that's saying something. I can tell you that much. Because that hasn't happened yet. So there you go. And there you have it. The GG is called. EFE Team taking the third critical game. A game that could have sent MP right to the finals. But EFE Team, they played it well. You know, they played it really well. Good stuff. There were certainly some moments that I think MP could have maybe sent a decisive blow and maybe sent EFE Team packing. But yeah, at the end of the day, EFE Team kept it together, made sure they couldn't get raided. You know, fortified their bases, got their military production up, and their economies, and there you go. As Green really wants to clear up this hated Arbalest army. There you go. Green wants to... He just wanted to kill this. He's like, yeah, there you go, you bastard. You die now. And there you go. Now he's going to call it GG because he killed it. There you have it. Because the Paladin were coming in already. Reinforcements, you know. Unfair. It's cheating, you know. Right? But yeah. GG. Alright, now, well, I mean, one critical thing, of course, was the lack of damage, right? That MP was able to do to EFE Team this time. Look at the deaths for EFE Team. Barely any, right? A few, but barely any. Look at the Vil kills for EFE Team. They killed a lot. Now, of course, most of that will be in the last 5 minutes, which is usually what happens, you know. Once the army routes, that's when the real killing happens. You know, trust me, in most battles, especially in the Middle Ages and before, most of the killing happened during a rout, not during the battle. That's when actually few people died, actually, comparatively. It's when your army turned around, turned tails and ran. That's when you run them down with cavalry, and that's when you really kill people. Alright, now, I think we can all agree that Teal did not have a good game, right? Teal had a bad game. That happens. I mean, first, your dock doesn't go up, which I think would have been really risky to go for anyways, but still. Then he lost the board to the DC, so his uptime was really late. And then he also didn't invest in a dock on the left side because he didn't want to cannibalize on the fish that Green was taking. Right, so Teal was kind of on the back foot. As a result, Red had pretty much free hand to come forward and eventually drop this castle. Also Red putting some pressure on the left-hand side as well. Between Purple and Blue, however, Blue had a slightly worse economy than Purple. Blue lacking some critical eco-tech, set him behind a little bit, especially because you're going to have to reseed all these freaking farms, right? Which were Dark Age farms, and that's very expensive. That does set you behind. You need a lot of wood for that to do that. Purple and Blue also took some critical fights together, most of which were fairly even, but there was one moment which could have definitely crippled the war effort for EFE Team, which was right here when Yellow and Purple ran into Blue's base. Green sent in the reinforcements. Yellow lost most of his knights already, and then Blue and Green were chasing down Purple down the south. And Purple, he was running for his life. At that point, Green split up from the army. He went to the right. I'm not sure if Green thought he could maybe get around the wood line, or if he really just wanted to go for a raid against Purple on the other side, while Blue dealt with what they thought was a smaller Purple army. The result was Purple sent in his reinforcements, suddenly had double the numbers than Blue, took a fight, and Blue's army got completely wiped off the field. After that, Green's knights couldn't engage anymore, and that was the moment that Blue, who was also on the way to imp first, got an advantage, pushing into Blue's base, as Blue took damage while trying to defend, right? Yeah, and that leaves us with, of course, with Green and Yellow. Yeah, as soon as Yellow gets Paladin out, the Green simply doesn't have any unit to deal with that. Like, Halberd Cavalier is nice, but you still lack the HP and 7 melee armor, man. 7 melee armor. Less attack for Cavalier as well, so it's just, yeah. 300 IQ move. yeah, well, if it had worked out, I guess. Yeah, I mean, just compare Paladin versus Cavalier. He does actually have Halberd, right? He actually got that upgrade. Lacked the attack upgrade there, but still, you get 16 attack versus 18, 7 melee armor versus just 6, right? And then 140 HP versus 180. Yeah. Alrighty, well, this again was a critical game indeed, and it extends the series, so yay, that's good for us, huh? Alright, now let's have a look at the KD real quick. Yeah, KD much better now for EFE Team, but remember, a lot of that was also villager kills. You have to keep that in mind, of course, because it does skew the numbers a little bit in favor for the winning team, right? It's not very accurate of what actually happened during the match. So, yeah. Economy-wise, yeah, even though they were slightly behind, look at that. It's not like they were that far behind in economy, except for Teal, who tried to boom, but got punished for that a few times, of course. Yeah. Let's see, the fastest player today was, again, Kaleke from Boedo. I bet he's feeling very good about his APM of just about now. Although this time, it's not 69, so it's not as consistent as last game. See, that's why they lost. Because Green didn't have that nice APM, right? That really, really nice APM to really drive home the victory. Now, what can I say? I'm just joking, of course. Alright. Let's have a look at the map draft while I update the score, because it is 2-1 now. Oh boy, oh boy. Alright, let's have a look. Where's the map draft? Oh yeah, there you go. 2. We have a win, on Kawasan, again, a critical win. So we will be going now to Colosseum or Dry River. My bet is Colosseum. And why I think that is the following. So far, MP have done a greater job at booming and making a lot more military than EFE Team faster, right? The military production has been better for MP. That is more important on Colosseum than it is on Dry River, because at least on Dry River you can still kind of wall, and that mitigates that a little bit. Colosseum, there's nowhere to run. You stop making military, you fall behind, you just die. You just straight up die. So my guess is that they will pick Colosseum, right, as a map on which to drive home their victory. That's my guess. Now, they may go for Dry River, but I think so, given what we just saw so far from both teams. Alright, so we have a win with Italians. No, wait, a loss with Italians. A loss with Sicilians. Here we go. There you go. A loss with Sicilians. And a loss with Vikings. Alright. Very important win with Japanese. A win with Byzantines. And a win with Teutons. Alright, so for Colosseum, it will probably be... Yeah, I'd say Hindustanis are the best cavalry civ that EFE Team have, still, but Huns is pretty good as well, but I would save that for Dry River. Wait, no, actually. We have the Tatars already, right? So you probably need Huns now for Colosseum, unless you're going to use Aztecs and Celts, both of those, on Colosseum. And then, I guess, Huns and Poles on Dry River. Wow, that will be a lot of cavalry. That will be crazy, then. Oh, boy. Alright, but, yeah. Hindustanis is probably the better cavalry civ out there still, Colosseum. But the thing is, you may not want to use Hindustanis here because they can't make knights, which may hurt them, right? So we'll see. For MP, though, we have Bulgarians is really strong, but I think it will be Slavs. It will be Slavs. That's my guess. So Slavs, Portuguese, and probably Saracens. That's my guess for the civilizations for on that side. And it will be Bohemians, Dravidians, and Bulgarians for Dry River. At least that's my guess. Bohemians may be used as well, but I think you would save those for Dry River, which is more closed off. And Bohemians do better if they can keep their base safe at the start of the game. You know, they're a bit slow to get going, but once they get going, they're a juggernaut. Alright, with that in mind, let's go and see if I were right about the map pick. Let's see. And thank you for all the team members here who are not spoiling it for me. Oh, it's Dry River. I was wrong. Oh, no. That's totally fine, of course. It's not like Dry River is not about military production. So let's have a look at what civilizations we can expect here. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. This is going to be one hectic battle. Yep, there you go. Welcome to the 4th game in the set between EFE Team and MP. Oh boy, spoiler. We had never played this map before this game. What? Really? Wow, never played Dry River, huh? Well, good luck. Man, Dry River is an interesting map to play. Yeah. Although I think that green is not going to be very happy. Wow. Oh, wow. Look at that map generation. I mean, of all the places where land could spawn, it's right in front of green's base. Oh, how pissed off were you, Green, when you saw this? Like, I would be pissed. Like, if I see this, right, I would immediately go for a re, but you have to scout it before minute 3. I think that's a bug, right? No, this is actually just what can happen, actually. The map, yeah, this is just, sometimes this happens. All the land will be in one space, right in front of one of the players. This is why I think on Dry River, instead of scouting my base, I think it's actually smart to scout the front as well, because for MP, this would be a clear re, right? This is a clear re, right? You would definitely ask for a re here, but you got to do it before 4 minutes. So you want to scout if you actually have fish. So I think, honestly, if Green knew about this, which he doesn't, he's scouting the back of his base now. Should scout the front. Always scout the fish. Oh, man. Yeah, I know this is a huge disadvantage. Normally you would have maybe this, right? This is actually 2 land spots clumped together. Normally you would have maybe had this, and then there would have been fish right here. You drop a mill there, you're fine. But now, it's just this. It's just this. There's so little fish here. If you want to get fish, you have to go through all these alligators. Oh, you have 40 seconds to decide. Okay, green's now about to scout the fish. Let's see. I'm afraid, though, they're not going to call a re because, well, I would have known about that. And I know they didn't call a re. Oh, green, I swear to God. That's so bad. It's so bad. Now he sees it. Now he sees it. He's like, no, no, land. Should we read 10 seconds to decide? It's not going to happen. If only he knew. Yeah, well, for next time, now he will know. On dry river, it's more important to first scout the fish to actually see if you have good fish and that it's not like this. Because this is like the worst dry river generation I've ever seen for one player. Now, let's introduce our players. The screwed over player here is Kaleki from Boedo, playing as the Bulgarians. So, yay. In the, well, at least Bulgarians can build Krapos in the middle, so he can still save the fish here, but, oh boy. In the blue, we have Laucha playing as the Portuguese. Alright. In the teal, we have Patrick playing as the Bohemians. Alright, so Bohemians and Portuguese both on this map. I thought they would be used, at least one of them, for a Colosseum, but I don't see a problem with using these on this map. Too late for that for a re now. It's past 4 minutes, unfortunately, so they're gonna have to play on this map. In the red, we have the Tars for Adeon. In the yellow, we have Astrion going for Hindustanis. And in the purple, we have Alan If playing as the Huns. So, wow, wow, wow. We have a very cavalry-heavy lineup here. Now, I mean, I think we can all guess what the Tatar player will be going for. Obviously, cavalry archers, which have historically done pretty good on this map, even if it's kind of flat. Especially since all the hills are on this side. So, yeah. Of course, Hindustanis will be able to make a lot of camels and counter enemy knights, and Bulgarians are going to have a hard time dealing with that. And last but not least, the Hun player can also go for knights or for cavalry archers, which on this map, why not? It's very open, as you can see. Players are far away from each other, right? So, yeah, cavalry does give you a large advantage here, you know, because you can overwhelm your opponent more easily. Alright, I didn't play the last two, I didn't play the last two matches, can be said. Oh boy, well, oh, you mean the last two matches for now? Oh boy. Spoilers? Spoilers? I didn't hear that. No, 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 blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I mean, this is bad. This is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. If Teal had a lot of bad luck last game, this is also really bad luck. Like, so this really is a giant disadvantage on the map. But of course, then one can make the devil's advocate argument and saying that the true superior team will be able to overcome even the greatest disadvantages in their maps. Which, of course, you're listening to it and you're like, well, screw off, man. Screw off, Red Prince. How dare you even say that? But it is, I mean, of course, that is a good skill to have. But, I mean, Dry River with all those alligators as well, it does definitely stack the deck against you. So yeah, green's not gonna have a good time. I think the best mill you could place was actually right there, next to blue, and just kind of pull your fish together. Now we have a drush from, no, a man-at-arm rush from blue. That's coming in soon. Now the lucky thing for blue is he can walk right ahead because there will not be any alligators in his path. Green, for example, couldn't do that. All the alligators are right there. Now, as green is Xing where purple's fish is. Of course, this is dry river. There's a lot of fish, and I can actually tell a little bit that maybe that EFE Team have never tried this. For one thing you could do is wall in these choke points right here, and that will keep your fish safe as well. This as well is fine. I would put the mill kind of in the middle so you can wall in all these choke points. Yeah, purple, of course, he saw the short fish. He said, okay, you know what, screw it. I'll put my mill right there. It's fine. Yeah, so this is a very cautious mill, right? Now, of course, this is all about, it's all about being able to hold on to the food, because there is plenty of food on this map. You want to see how much? There you go, 420,000 food, even with that giant piece of land. So, yeah, you don't want to get kicked off of food there. It's a huge disadvantage, especially EFE Team. They are going to go very heavy into cavalry. They need that food. Okay, here comes blue using that extra food to make 4 men-at-arms, and here they are. Yellow is not walled, and as a result, yellow's going to get kicked off a fish. Now, he didn't notice that in time, so at least no villagers will die to this, but still, getting kicked off your early food, especially for Hindustani, is not the best, of course. That is what you got to make your scouts from. Right at the same time, yeah, finds a walled mill. Although Teal didn't do a great job walling his mill either, though. It's really only, you can only take fish here now, and that fish will run out very fast because, you know, it's all around this pond. And that's why usually you put your mill like in the middle and then just kind of try to wall the choke points. That usually leads to the best results. You know, so that the fish stays alive. Alright, well, the Portuguese men-at-arms now, which are also cheaper on the gold, by the way, are killing this mill now, just to make sure that Yellow will think twice about returning to the water for more fish. This, of course, is giving Yellow enough time to get his walls up and protect himself. At least that's the plan, I'm sure. Scouts for Yellow will soon be coming out. The scouts, have come out. Oh, the revenge is on. And Blue also didn't wall his fish. And he's paying the price for that now. And unlike men-at-arms, scouts can chase down villagers. One vill down for Lauchav here. Men-at-arms trying to break through. They could just walk right through. Oh, Yellow. Yellow! I deleted it earlier. I was like, is he gonna plug that up? And he's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. No. So, there you go. Yellow, unfortunately, now has 4 men-at-arms in his base. I don't think anyone will be very happy about that. He's going to have to ask his... kindly ask his teammates if they could join him with some archers to clean this up for him. Now, he did a great job containing these men-at-arms now. Yeah, they can't go anywhere, so it's fine. Are we gonna trap them as well? You can totally trap them. Just delete, build the palisade wall. Trap them, because then they're stuck. Trapping on the other side. Yeah, the archers from purple are hitting green. Poor green. Poor green. His only piece of fish already denied. The scouts for the Hindustani player are here, which can push away the skirmishers that the Bulgarian player is making. And yeah. Green is not happy. I bet he wanted to make scouts, but with the little food that he had, and because of the position that he had, decided to make a range, which I just can never agree with as Bulgarians, because you're going to be making archers that you can't upgrade. Skirmishers can't really threaten your opponent, and you still want to go for nice in the cast slates. I think going for a stable is still the way to go, but yeah, I understand that Green felt like he couldn't afford that because he didn't have fish. So yeah, funny how many players have been pushed off a fish here. Blue got pushed off a fish for a time there. Yellow's been pushed off. Green's been pushed off. Yeah, very aggressive game. As Blue sending over some archers now, which use the hole that Yellow just made for his scouts. Alright, so Blue's like, well, thank you very much, kind sir. I will come in and shoot shoot our arrows at your villagers, not villagers at your arrows. That doesn't make any sense. How would that make sense? How do you shoot villagers at arrows? You'd have to use catapults. Because I don't think there's a bow that's big enough to shoot a villager. Although a ballista might do it. Can a ballista shoot a man? I think you'd kill him before you'd shoot him in the air, though. There's so many questions I have now. Oh boy. Anyways, purple defending against teal and blue at the same time. But yeah, there's enough archers here now. It's still 4 versus 3. 3 versus 2. I mean, this pretty much saves Yellow for the time being, because this army will now just get cleared up by the scouts. Yeah, nicely done. Oh, Yellow scouts finding a hole in the wall here for the Bohemian player. Ay, there's no spearman here to quickly defend against the scout, and teal's goal is getting wrecked. 3 villagers down, 4 villagers down, 5 villagers down. Now that is value. That is value. And the Hindustani scout player is like, thank you very much. I'm gonna run around in your base and look to see if I can have some fun here. And this is the awkward part. You know, look, they were fully walled, MP, but there were a few holes there. And yeah, that's the thing about a team wall. A team wall is as good as its weakest part. So if there is a hole in the wall, then basically there is not a wall at all. That's what I always say. It's, the scout's getting into the wood line as well. And these scouts have armor now as well, which means villagers can't fight this and they can survive arrow fire for a longer time. As teal now down 9 villagers. Or villies, as someone influential might say. Market now for green. He wants to buy his way up. He still lacks the food because it, of course, goes a bit slower if you don't have fish. As a result, purple and red are in the castlates. Now, you have military advantage. Your opponents are scrambling to defend themselves at home. Now, teal does have an army, but green does not. Nor does blue at the moment. At least not a whole lot of army. They're still dealing with this, which means that if you want to go for cavalry archers, this is the moment. This is the moment you can do that. So, the Hunt player can go for cavalry archers, which is what he's going to do. The Tatar player can go for cavalry archers, again, which is what he's going to do. And this is exactly what I mean, having military control. Even though the military numbers are similar, doesn't matter. Red did enough damage to, yellow and red did enough damage to teal. Teal's army is here. It's not pressuring red and purple right now, as is blue's army. It's all in the back of their base. They're not going to be able to deal with those early waves of cavalry archers, and once you have like 10 of them on the field, you can start to take good fights, run away from those that are not good, and that's when all hell will break loose. And you will have to abandon the fish soon. Trust me, teal and blue. Well, teal already did it. And blue will do it in a second as well, as red returns right to the fish. And, yeah. Of course, red doesn't care about these archers anymore. He will probably upgrade them. You have 11 archers. I would definitely upgrade these into crossbows. You can take a nice trade against the crossbows on the other side. As yellow is still doing a lot of damage in the back of green's base. Green's spearmen are kind of trolling around. Again, improved pathing. Improved pathing, right? I don't think they're ever going to fix the pathing. It's just broken beyond repair. As yellow has killed 12 villagers so far with his Hindustani scouts. Yellow, the last the encapsulate for his team, but he certainly did a lot. He did a lot here. And still, he's idling this military. Look, all these archers slowly chasing cavalry. And this is why cavalry is pretty strong in Dry River. Lots of maneuverability on this map. There's a lot of space as well. So yeah. Alright, well, green, of course, is going to make knights this time around. He has the economy to start making them, but of course, knights, they don't like cavalry archers, don't they? Do they? They also don't like camels. So then what are you making knights for, one might ask? Yeah, that's kind of a problem, right? Knights can clean up archers, yes, but knights, they die to cavalry archers. They really do. If you micro them well, if you get husbandry. And they die to camels. So then suddenly, Bulgarian knights suddenly don't do a whole lot here, do they? But then what do Bulgarians do? Bulgarians, I mean, they can make their own cavalry archers, I guess. But then who's going to make knights? I mean, I guess the Portuguese player's going to have to do it. Or I guess no one makes knights, but yeah. There you go, cavalry archers are in. Well, they still can't fight this ball of crossbows. There's too many crossbows here, so that's not going to work. But of course, Teal wasn't... He's patrolling his crossbows down south to finally kill their scouts. They hated scouts that yellow sent in. They're finally dead. And now there's cavalry archers. Red... still could get the crossbow upgrade. Probably should get the crossbow upgrade here. I would, yeah, but there's enough archers there. It's worth it. Worth it. I would do that. Not for purple. Like, purple has 4 archers, that's not worth it. More cavalry archers coming forward. Ay, ay, ay. Those scouts. Yeah, I bet. I bet you were very happy with those scouts, huh? As red is now getting stuck between the entire army. Oh, okay. No, don't get the upgrade now. Don't get it now. It's not worth it anymore. Oh, red. Poor red. All those archers were so excited, and then they just got completely clobbered. As... oh! Doughty C! Almost 90%. Oh, is he gonna get it up? 95%. No, it's a Doughty C. The one villager building. Purple didn't snipe it. Oh! Wow, that is close. That is super close. Medal of Honor to the family. Yes, indeed. As the cavalry archers, of course, can raid around, this town center went up, but the villager that was building had died, so there's nothing in the TC now, so Purple can just sit here and kill everything. And again, in a game where MP has way fewer villagers than EFE Team, you know that MP is under a lot of pressure, because... again, they're boomers. They're boomers. The camels are here. The cavalry archers are there. How many do we have? 31. Huns do tend to spam cavalry archers, don't they? There's 19 on the field for the Tatar player. Of course, he doesn't get that nice cavalry archer discount. He can't quite take a fight against the Bohemian player just yet. Who also got... did he get chemistry? Not yet, but he's thinking about it. University is up. He'll probably get it at some point once he can afford it. As, yeah, 44 villages for blue, 41 for green, 37 for teal. Not looking so hot, is it? As cavalry archers are just finding vills to kill, and this is exactly what you want to be doing with them. Just run around, kill villagers, slow down your opponent while your economy is going to be beautiful behind it. Indeed, 3 town centers now for red, for purple, 2 for yellow. And they're just going to boom behind us, especially the Hindustani player should boom like a madman. While they still snipe villagers. Just keep your enemies on the back foot. Blue has an army. That army is over here. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so blue, instead of trying to chase cavalry archers, he's actually going to go forward. Snipes a few over here. He's now going to try to run into purple's base. We'll see how that's going to go. Purple is actually sending his cavalry archers outside right now. He split them up in 2 groups to find more villagers. As red is here as well, being chased by teal. Maybe together they could take a fight here. Anyway, blue. Oh, blue could deny the town center. 85%. Blue sniping the villagers. One villager down. It's a Doughty C. The revenge is here. And blue gets some kills as well. And purple, of course, is knocking himself in the head, not getting that DC up a bit earlier. As the cavalry archers are being closed in from all sides. But there's a lot of them here. Look at that HP as well. Compare that to the crossbow HP. It's not even close. Not even close. I think together, cavalry archers... Can they take a fight? The thing with crossbows is, despite their lack of HP, they do have the higher DPS. They do more damage than cavalry archers, despite cavalry archers having one more attack. This helps cavalry archers against knights, not so much against against crossbows. Because again, crossbows, they fire a bit faster, right? So if you look at the reload time, seconds between attack, 2, attack delay 0.4, right? And then for cavalry archers, as yellow's going to try to take a fight, let me click one, and we can still look at this fight, because this is an important fight. So it's 2 minus 0.2, but the attack delay is 0.9. So it takes a longer time for them to shoot per time. As yellow is heroically sending in the camels, but of course, you're not going to be able to kill this crossbow army, not with just camels. As purple is sending in his reinforcements now to take a fight, but yeah, there you go. You can one-shot the cavalry archers, nice micro there. From blue, as he cleans up this as well. At the same time, oh, giant fight. Hang on, I want to see that. I want to see that. That's an important fight. There you go. Let's go. Capturate Pro for the winning here, as teal is now surrounded by cavalry archers from both sides. Green comes in as well to try to get some kills. But remember, the cavalry archers can absolutely slay the green knights, even if they have +2. They kill them in 30 shots, which there's 27 cavalry archers here. It's almost a one hit, one kill. Teal backing up to the town center now, so red is losing a lot of cavalry archers in this chase, but teal lost a lot of his crossbows, trying to keep himself alive. And cavalry archers are still here. There's so many in the back of your base. That must be the most demoralizing thing ever, by the way. You have team walls up, and the cavalry archers are inside your base. That must suck. Alright, there's some crossbows in the back of EFE Team's base, but of course, only 11. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot, as the cavalry archers are still sitting everywhere. 35 bills for teal. He lost so many in these many fights. 27. Blue has lost 30 villagers so far. And that number is only going up as he's trying to keep himself safe. But yeah, but one town center and one on the wood line, which is fairly safe. Yeah, that gold is just never going to be safe from the cavalry archers, which will just raid around in perpetuity. And oh my god. If purple finds the villagers there. Oh no, teal. Purple is so close. Red is so close. They could waltz right into this wood line and kill everything. Oh man. Where's blue's army right now? Blue's lost his crossbows. Those are dead already. Teal's army is dead, as teal's now gonna try to block this army out, and now red says, hey, there's a lot of economy here. Let's go party right there. Exactly. Teal luckily in time to take back his villagers before the massacre would happen, but regardless, it's not looking too good for MP at the moment. It's 215 villagers for EFE Team, 148 for MP. But look at the military count. Almost triple the military count right now for EFE Team. And of course, it's cavalry archers as well, which are very, very scary. Very scary. And then luckily for MP, the civilizations that they have, right, honestly not that suited for Dry River. Like, I mean, all of them can work on Dry River. The problem is that now you have two civilizations that make a very slow unit, the crossbow, and one civilization that is trying to make knights but can't because they just died to everything on the field right now. What they needed was their own cavalry archer civ, or another good knight civ, right? That is why a lot of teams, right? A lot of teams opt to go for a lot of cavalry archers and knights and cavalry on this map because it's so open, because cavalry dominates everything, as you can see. Every time teal and blue clean up one army, another army arrives, and there you have it. Imperial is just coming in for red, it's coming in for yellow, it's almost in for yellow at 96 villagers. Green has managed to get a boom going even under all that pressure. It's at 89 villagers, so at least there's that. But the thing is, what do you make even an imp? Nothing! And the GG is called, and I can't believe this, but EFE Team tying up this series. It is 2-2. We will go to a game number 5 again today. Oh my god, this day is going to be incredibly long, isn't it? All these freaking teams are too good. They're too good. They just keep going to the final game. Darn it. My god, GG. I can't believe it. It is 2-2. Can you believe it? What a treat. What a treat. Awesome. I love this. I mean, I bet MP is probably kicking themselves, you know, not to be able to close out the set in the last 2 games. You know, that certainly sucks, but I mean, it's always good for the caster and his audience if there's a game number 5. It's very exciting indeed, because now EFE Team have a chance to reverse sweep MP, although MP still have a chance to win. I mean, it's a match point for both teams now. Now, it will still be the home map for MP, though, a map that I think they will be comfortable on, so we'll see. But yeah, what happened here, honestly, the early fights, right? The early fights went the way for EFE Team. Their feudal age play went kind of well. But I think the deciding moment was this hole right there. The team wall was up. MP thought, we are fine, we're good to go to castle age. I know Green had some trouble getting there because he didn't have fish. This is fine. We switch into farms. We're all good. We're all set to go. And then there was a pesky hole. 8 scouts, yellow scouts, made it into Teal's base, and those scouts started killing villagers. And yellow killed 12 villagers with those scouts in the back of MP's base. That forced MP, who were making double archery range and some scouts. Of course, there were no scouts in the field at that point anymore, but there certainly were some archers. Those armies were not moving across the map. They were not going forward. They stayed inside MP's base trying to chase down those scouts and kill those while they were still losing villagers. As a result, EFE Team had the military control, right, of the middle, enough time to get cavalry archers out in good numbers, because that's always the key, right? And so they did. They started spamming cavalry archers everywhere. They broke into MP's base once more, and they just started running all over the map. And look at the vill kills here in total. Just look at that. And that is before the end slaughter, right? We didn't have an Imperial Age slaughter where you just completely die to knights and everything, and then the eco-kitty is skewed that way. No, this time around, this is literally just what happened. Teal lost 54 villagers. 19 villagers for green, 39 for blue. And that's what cavalry archers are supposed to do. Like, they can't push buildings, but they sure can run around, snipe villagers everywhere, stay alive long, give you a great KD, while you boom behind, go to Imperial Age, and then, of course, just completely clobber your opponent. And MP, they weren't going to wait for Imperial Age. They knew exactly that if their opponents went up to Imp, that would be it. So, yeah. Of course, again, it didn't help, right? It didn't help that you had 2 very slow civilizations, which have a hard time chasing cavalry archers. And of course, a civ that dies to cavalry archers and camels, right? That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. Bulgarians aren't a bad civilization, but what do they do against camels and cavalry archers? Like, both of them at the same time. The only thing I can think of is cavalry archers yourself with Bulgarians, which you can do, but yeah. Statistic goes. Kitties will be much better for EFE Team, obviously. And yeah, especially losing all your crossbows as well for blue and for teal. Every time they lost their crossbows, a new army would arrive. Which is kind of how these sedentary empires felt once the Huns and the Tatars showed up. That's kind of how it went. You could beat one army and then an army would be back the next year and just kill you then. So, yeah, it still works now. Economy naturally much better for EFE Team. Their economy was largely untouched. I mean, blue did go for a raid, which was fairly successful, but all by himself and crossbows wasn't able to stay alive for much longer. And the Vulcan, of course, much better for EFE Team. Yeah, poor Teal. Teal once again getting clobbered there. Aye. And you know, all he wants to do is just boom, but he couldn't. APM here, fastest player was, yeah, Green, who had a very high eco APM because he was booming very nicely there, so good stuff. Alrighty, well, almost at 69. If he hits that 69, you know, they're gonna win again. So, see, it's true, every game that MP won, Kalechi had 69 APM. So clearly, that's the deciding factor. Now that must be. It's totally not a fallacy. Post hoc ergo propter hoc, right? After, therefore. All right, now let's have one final look at the draft so you can quickly see what civilizations we're going to see as I tie up the score here, 2-2. The final map will, of course, be the final home map for MP, which is Colosseum. As you can see, loss for MP on Dry River. Colosseum will be the deciding map. That's exciting. All right, we have a loss with Bulgarians, a loss with Portuguese, and a loss with Bohemians. All right, a win with Huns, Hindustanis, and Tatars. All right, now we have the final Civ draft, Civ matchup for you. It will be Saracens, Dravidians, and the Slavs versus Poles, Celts, and Aztecs. Ooh boy. Now, Poles obviously have the worst cavalry than Slavs overall, but Poles can outspam Slavs. Yeah, they have comparable farms actually. You might even, I think folwark farms are actually a little bit more efficient than Slav farming overall. Of course, you have to farm around the folwark. Slavs can farm wherever they want, but still. The Dravidians are fine. Saracens, a very dangerous archer civ for sure, but Aztecs are dangerous as well. And then we have Celts, which... we'll see how Celts are going to perform. All right, well, let's go into the final game of this awesome series. I really want to know now who's going to go on to the finals. Because it's... I mean, whichever of these teams it is, they both deserve it. So, I mean, there's already that, right? They can already be proud of their performance so far. But, of course, that bittersweet moment when you get kicked out of a series, you want to avoid that at all costs. So let's see who's going to avoid it and who's going to win the semifinals. Alrighty, well, we have gone to yet another home map, Colosseum for MP, the final map between these two teams. Let's introduce them really quickly so you can get into the action. In the blue, we have Lauchav playing as the Saracens. Good stuff. In the green, we have, of course, Kaleke playing as the Slavs. And in the teal, it is Dravidians for Patrick. Alright, in the purple we have Adion playing as the Celts, in the yellow we have Astrion playing as the Poles, and in the red we have Alan F or Alan Efe playing as the Aztecs. Good stuff. Wait. There you go. Alan Efe playing as the Aztecs. Haha. I have powers you cannot even imagine. Hilarious. Alrighty. Alright, now let's talk about Colosseum right now that all the player names are completely like I want them to be. Alright, so we already saw the Civ matchup during the draft, right, of course. So we knew what to expect, obviously. But which Civs are better? Which team has the better Civs here? Now, versus Poles and Slavs, they both are the farming Civs. You know, Poles have the folwark, which allows you, if you build farms within the little area of the folwark, if you complete the building of the farm, 10% of the food is immediately taken away from the farm and added to your stockpile. That essentially speeds up the farming process as well, because it will take less time now before the farm is depleted and you build another one, immediately giving you a little bump of food again. So it basically brings in one harvest already, which... apparently, if you compare the farm rates, it is very comparable to Khmer farming and Slav farming. Except for Poles, they have to build their farms around the folwark. So that's the downside, of course. Alright, so that's for Poles. Slavs, though, they don't have to do that. They just have the flat 10% farm more... Well, I mean, I should say... it's a flat rate. It's 10% faster working farmers for Slavs all around, wherever they farm, you know. Although, of course, you know, building a farm right here, you know, one of those nice T90 farms we've heard so much about, that will certainly decrease the efficiency. So, yeah, you still want to be farming around your TC and your mill, obviously. It's not like your Khmer. Alright, so, we should finish up, of course, militarily. Poles have the opportunity to go for a very cheap knight spam, right? So for Schlachta privileges, which you have to build a castle for to afford it, it's a very expensive tech as well. So it's not like you're going to be able to just do that at the start of Castle Age. And you can try, but I think that will probably backfire if you try that. Slavs don't have to worry about that, but they are making generic knights. It's kind of where the bonuses for Slav end. Now, if they get castles up and want to go for boyars, boyars are absolutely way stronger than any unit that the Poles can make, because obviously they have a lot of melee armor. They are like mounted Teutonic knights. Now, Poles can then, of course, switch into oboids, but we're thinking too far ahead now. That's not going to happen on Colosseum. This map is too crazy for that. It's all going to be about military numbers. And I think I'd favor the Slav position at first. And in late game, because Slavs get better Cavalier. So they actually never have to switch out a Cavalier, because Poles get worse Cavalier than Slavs, because they lack the final armor upgrade, but they will probably be more numerous. Okay, Teal now finding the wood line here for purple, wants to look to see if he can snipe a villager. He could do that, because the villagers are unloomed, but I guess the risk would be too great. It's more important to keep your scout alive so you can push in your hunt. Okay, our Celts versus Dravidians. Dravidians are the better archer civ. They actually get all the upgrades. Celts don't get Arbalest nor Bracer, so you can't really go for archers in the late game. It's going to have to be siege at some point, which means that Celts, they shine in castle age, right? But the longer the game goes, the better it will get for the opponent with Dravidians, who will of course have the better archers. Arbalest for one. On the other side, between blue and red, this is going to be quite the matchup here. Both these civilizations are strong, aggressive civs. Aztecs, of course, have the better production, right? Their military buildings produce faster, which really helps you on maps like this. You know, like it really helps you get a lot of military out fast, as its villagers loomed. So blue, he can't snipe that. Blue also must have taken some damage from the TC there, because or did he try to fight red? Red did fight him a little bit, probably, so, yeah. Anyways, Saracens, of course, can punch through walls much easier with their Saracen bonus versus buildings that the foot archers get. As green. Now, green also coming to snipe this villager, and then also decides not to do that. That poor villager, 2 scouts from across the world, both coming all the way over here just to give her a hit on the head. Assault, jeez. Now, the thing with Saracens, right? The thing with the Saracen bonus as, oh, purple and yellow, they're both here. And Teal, luckily, in time to wall in his villagers, brings over his scout as well. But of course, his scout is now 2v1, is going to have to run away and hope that green is going to join them in the fight. Right. Now, what I'm saying about the Saracen bonus is, there's not going to be a whole lot of walls on this map, probably, right? There may be a wall from the TC to the wood line, in which case the Saracen player will certainly be able to punch through. There you go, that wall is actually going to go up. So yeah, the Saracens can push through this wall fairly easily, right? But otherwise, there's not a whole lot to kill. But Saracens can, of course, kill TCs just as easily. So it's not like I'm trying to downplay the Saracen bonus. Not in the slightest. Everyone loves the meme siege archers from Saracens. It's awesome. Alright, we have some men-at-arms coming in now for red, right at the gold for blue. And blue, he's up in the feud lanes, but he's not making anything himself. And that gold is going to get hit because blue didn't react to it just yet. Okay, now he reacted. He sees the men-at-arms, but yeah, still, having to abandon that forward gold, while we have a perfectly good back gold, I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's only like, what, 10 seconds walking? 5 seconds walking? Alright, archer range will be going up now, but red may be trying to deny that, but he's not going to be able to. On the other side, purple is also going to go for men-at-arms, but where did they go? And there they are. They're a bit late. They're probably, this one, the middle one, he didn't set the alarm clock, so they're kind of late. Like, they're hurrying now to the front, it's like. And of course, right in their hurry, they forgot their map, so they don't know where to go, you know. You see, if you're hurrying in the morning, this is how it cascades, right? You know, you're too late, and then you lose your direction, and you're later even. It's just bad, from bad to worse. Alright, well, blue actually managed to wall in his gold now. Of course, this gold is absolutely not safe. Absolutely not safe. I would suggest towering that. If we're going to continue with this gold and we wall like this, you're going to need a tower. Teal, in the meantime, tries to get the walls up. The walls are almost up, with the men-at-arms on their way. Oh, but this is going to be an overchop. 11, 10. Oh, but don't let him know. Don't let him know. Wait, Teal. Teal's still going to do it. Teal, 4. Leave the berry bush. No, Teal. Oh, and there's a hole. But Teal is paying attention to that. Good job. Good job, Teal. He's playing good there. Now he's paying attention to the berry bushes. He's clicking them, seeing them. Okay, I should probably not overforage all of that. There you go. Alright, well, blue now getting his first archers out, but red is getting his archers out as well. Remember, red, with the better production, will be able to overwhelm blue, who is producing from 1 archer range right now. In which case, again, I would suggest to tower this gold. You're already delayed by the men-at-arms. You only have 1 archer range up. It's most likely that red will be able to outpop you. Drop the tower. There you go. There you go. Blue, realizing that in time, it's better late than never. There you go. The tower will go up, and Loud Shelf will be okay. Good job. We have a team wall now from MP here. Look at that. Giant wall going up from left to right. As purple is looking for another way in, but teal's going to try to wall it out and does wall that out. Very nicely done. Men-at-Arms are not going to do too much. That's a lot of investment now for purple and red that they won't really be able to use. Although red's Men-at-Arms got more value, I should say. Now, of course, teal and green and blue are investing a lot in walls, so at the end of the day, it probably evens out a little bit. Going on this side. The scouts making it into red's wood line. Almost. The house is somewhat built. So yeah, one villager goes down there. Red losing a vill there. He will be okay with that. It's fine. Purple also lost a vill. I don't know where. Alright, well, red and purple, of course, can't break in. Teal now has the archers to defend himself against these men-at-arms. So I don't think that that's going to do too much. What about this side? As red, red wants to break through the walls. Can't wall behind that anymore, except with a market. That's the only building you can use right now that the archers can't range. But you can't build a market every time now, can you? Nope. Just in time, too. Blue's going to house wall behind this one now, as well as red is going to try to break in, but not so much. Scouts for green are up here. Yellow is looking for those. He's looking for those with the Polish scouts. He's he built the folwark really close to the TC. That's a smart way to do it, because now the farms that are around the folwark at least are somewhat safe. You know, because if you build them too far away from your TC, you're just asking to get raided, obviously. Men-at-Arms get completely massacred, as we have so many archers already for the Dravidian player. Having a lot of wood at the start of each age is really going to help you here. You get 200 wood for aging up, which, yeah, that's nice, isn't it? What? How did they get in? What? How? Wait, hold on a second. I want to know. How did they get in? How is that possible? Oh, they just walked right around. You gotta be kidding me. Blue, the walls. Blue. I thought he had the walls all up. I thought he was fine. Oh, well, this is not so good, is it? These archers do not have fletching, so they struggle to kill vills, but they will kill vills eventually. As one, maybe 2 villagers will go down here. Red is looking for that weak one. Looking for the weak one. It's right there. Red's gonna snipe it. Weak villager escapes. Weak villager escapes. Okay, Red's gonna go for another veil, and he gets that one as well. Good. In the meantime, the scouts, hitting a walling villager, and yellow scouts are nowhere to be seen right now, as green is indeed coming back from the shadows in the back. The literal shadows, because yellow, of course, couldn't see that because of the fog of war. Spearman, though, pushing his army away for the time being, as yellow's going to try to keep this out as much as he can. Quick walls on this side. Spearman are chasing this, it's fine. Scouts are kind of stuck now, taking some extra hits there. Good stuff. What's going on this side? Purple has to defend himself now against teal, who has a giant army, and purple probably should have dropped the tower himself, because he is off a gold for the time being. Now, has a forward gold, but that is a scary gold. It's outside of the walls, so, yeah. We're gonna have to drop a tower somewhere, either on the wood line or on the gold. Something has to give here, as teal now makes his way to the wood line, and will eventually break in here if purple doesn't hurry up. Right now, moving forward, looking for some kills in the back, as green is already evacuating the wood line. What was that about? I don't think that's necessary. There's only 4 archers here. Blue is chasing it, so it's fine. Right, yellow sending in the scouts. These scouts, do they have upgrades? They do not. Important upgrades are missing still for yellow. He can't afford those. He'd probably get those. But there's enough scouts here that I think if he corners his army, as purple tries to get in front of teal's army, teal now realizing his army is doomed, is trying to get the best trade that he can against the archers from purple. Kills a lot of them as well. But teal's army gets cleaned up and purple stays alive. Alright. Right now in the back. Red in the back of teal's base. He can walk right in. And these archers, they finally have fletching. So now they can kill villagers. That is with some micro. Teal, yeah, losing another villager. If red's gonna micro, yeah, he is. He's gonna hunt that down now. The Knight of the Hunter. Teal, of course, immediately sending in the reinforcements. Coming to see, because there was a report of local violence in the lumber camps, the lumber yard, I mean. That's a lot of army that's here. Wow, blue is here. They must really hate red's archers. And red's like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm out of here. No, not in the Middle Ages. You can't be sorry. You'll be dead regardless. Alright, well, I'm not sure how good it is for blue to have his army on that side as well, you know, to have both your armies here. Red was actually Xing that, saying like, yo, blue is here as well. So that either means that blue is kind of unprotected on the front, which he kind of is, or that blue may try to join an attack against teal. But I think blue is just going to waltz right back home, yeah. That army's going to go right back home there. Blue not on the way to Castle Ace just yet. He's probably going to have to use the Saracen Market here. I felt like a little overkill, those poor 3 archers. I mean, you did kill a villager. That's probably a criminal offense in Teal's Dravidian Empire, so... Yeah, I mean, I don't make the laws. It was kind of harsh, yeah. Like getting sawed in two, like the Vikings like to do. Alrighty, well, yellow is looking for a kill in the wood line for green, which he abandoned for a second, but then decided not to abandon. Green also building a wall in the middle, but he never finished it. Which would have been a nice wall to compartmentalize both sides of the base, right? It means that army cannot pass from the left to the right, not without punching through that wall. Here comes Red. Red with 20 archers, which will soon be crossbows. So he's moving forward before he can get the upgrade. So I'm not sure if that's too early or not. I guess time will tell. Yellow is in the Castle Ace though. He got there before the Slav player, despite both of them making a similar number of scouts here. But yeah, it will be Knights first for the Polish player, who is also heavily on stone. Let's see how much stone we have already. 620, we're getting close to a castle. That means that yellow will want to get Schlachta privileges instead of a town center. You know that green is just going to boom here. That's that much is pretty much clear. I don't think he's going to get a castle anytime soon. Right now, yeah, he can't fight around that tower. Unfortunately, he is not Saracen, so I guess Red's going to do something else. As Red says, let's punch through the walls in the middle. And wow, look at the teamwork. Look at them. They're all both coming to the same place at the same time. The coordination. Oh, it's so nice. They're arriving at the same time exactly. And yellow is here as well. I like this a lot. Because what's going to happen now, either teal or blue is going to send their army to deal with this, right? Both, maybe even both of them, since both purple and red are here. As clutch market there, clutch market, but you can't stop. You can't stop this wall from going down. At some point, this wall will go down here. As yeah, there comes teal's army, blue sending his archers. Probably will send his archers at some point. Red's getting his upgrades though. Purple almost getting his upgrades. Teal already has Botkin arrow on the way. Not crossbow yet though. This is a very awkward fight, but at least you know exactly where MP's armies are at the moment, except for blue, because blue is still not showing up to the fight. Crossbows now for red as he's getting all his upgrades, and still the archers are kept out of MP's base as they're getting the market now, and green might have to delete this before, okay, well, he might have lost the wood now. Probably did lose the wood. Alright, lots of crossbows as well for the Dravidian player though, so I don't think that this army is going to be able to break in. There simply is more military for MP at the moment. More knights as well for yellow at the moment, although yellow did get that castle, so if you see Schlachta privileges, do let me know, because I want to know. Because that's important. That's very important. Oh, there you go. There you go. Schlachta privileges, it's in, or it's coming in now. That means that any knight that yellow makes now will only cost like 30 something gold. Still cost the full food price, but at least you don't need that many villages on gold anymore. This is going to be enough for 3-4 stable production. Yeah. And of course, if you mine stone, you still get gold from that as well. Like my pajama pants. Yeah, of course, I want to be comfortable while I cast these. Alright, well, red is surrounding blue from both sides, but blue has more archers. No, actually, he's actually down one archer. And, oh boy, here comes yellow and green, both helping their embattled flank, as blue is getting attacked from both sides, which makes it really difficult to micro against, actually. Yellow is right here in time. Looks like the engagement was a lot better for red. Teal sending his archers to the left side as well, so looks like we want to see a coordinated attack from MP as well. Alright, this of course safeguards the Celt player, allowing him to get some town centers up and maybe get some siege out, which is the idea. But the Aztec player, excuse me, is going to be under siege now from 3 players. But if there's any player who can make up for that, it would be Yellow. Because Yellow is going to open the floodgates in just a second here. It's 52 villagers. The more villagers he gets, the worse the cavalry spam is going to get. But first, Red is going to have to keep himself safe. Red losing another crossbows here. It's a lot of army for Teal and for Blue. And remember, they are both technically Saracens. You know, I mean, one player actually is Saracens, but the other player benefits from the bonus, and they can kill this building really fast. And look what a meme this is. As Red is going to lose an archery range here for sure. He's not going to be able to stop that from happening. Yellow's getting his upgrades. He has the attack upgrades as well, so his knights are significantly better than the Slav knights. Green has just dropped a second town center, so it's not like Green is that far ahead in the vill count here. And if it is all equal, Yellow has the cheaper knights now. So, a lot cheaper, those knights. As Red is actually repairing the archer range just to keep it up. And Blue is not having it. He's like, no, I set this archer range on fire, and now I want to see it burn too. As there's a hole right there. Interesting. That's a nice little choke point to have. As, yeah, Green can't attack Red's army. It's sitting in a choke point, but Red should probably back up here. Garrison the TC, good stuff. And now the knights will take damage from the TC fire as well. Good stuff. The defense has been solid. Now, Teal, of course, was on the left-hand side trying to help Red, but what I said is he was giving the Kelp player a lot of time there to get some siege out, and the Kelp player got some siege out, and is taking out some buildings. And yeah, even a boomer like Patrick is not going to be able to make any military if he doesn't have production buildings. Now, he's going to counter with his own siege, but remember, Kelt eat TC. Kelt eat lots of TC. Oh boy, Yellow is here to snipe the Mangonel to make sure that Teal cannot threaten the Mangonels from Purple. And watch how fast this DC goes down as Yellow takes a fight in the middle of Teal's town. What's happening to MP right now? They're getting overwhelmed, it seems. Overwhelmed by the aggression from the Kelp player on the right-hand side. That town center is about to go down. Wong would be proud. Kelp eat TC. Alright. Now send in the Mangonels and finish off the archers. EFE Team with 85 military. The Polish players on 4 stables now. The Slav player only on 2. Because how would you counter that? How would you counter Slachta privileges? They're simply too cheap, those knights. They're just too cheap. As Teal is losing all his army, and Teal is just kind of completely out of this game at this point. He has 45 villagers, no army. This is really, really bad for MP. They need to salvage the left-hand side, or at least have Blue push Red on the other side. As Blue takes, kind of dodges the shot there, good stuff. But Blue's not really pushing Red at the moment. And then, of course, there's the fact that the cavalry player is far behind in the numbers. Way further behind. With 2 stables, you're never going to catch up to the Polish player, who is just absolutely spamming the knights. Full castle age play for the Polish player. Why wait until Imperial age? It's not necessary, as Green is losing a lot of villagers here. Oh, what a heartbreaker. EFE Team with 105 military, absolutely dominating MP at the moment. There's just no coming back from this. Cannot eat everything. As Teal is just getting pushed further and further back into his base. No army for Teal. He's trying to make some. At the same time, we have crossbows fighting on the other side. But again, if Red just trades evenly, Red's not even going to care. You know, it doesn't matter if he loses his army, as long as Blue doesn't have a lot of crossbows anymore. And yeah, Blue with the better micro. You know, but the better micro indeed wins the fight, but it doesn't matter, because at this point, Green is just dead, and Green resigns. The GG is called, and MP taps out. The almost impossible has just happened. EFE Team reverse sweeps the former champions from Category B Virgo Cup. Wow, GG, what a comeback. What an incredible comeback this was. I mean, this all looked, you know, judging from the first 2 games, MP looked almost impossible to kill. You know, they looked so dominant in Arabia and on the first home map for EFE Team. For real. But then the 3rd game, EFE Team, they must have regrouped. They must have gone that morale up high. They clapped back on their final home map. And then in the last 2 games, they have been playing insanely well. Yeah, seriously. Seriously. Thank you for the follow there, Alan If. Welcome to the Horde. And thanks, of course, for playing. Because, my God, these games were beautiful. They really were. Like, okay, both teams really showed what they were worth. They proved their mettle. They both, deserve to have gone on to the finals here. And of course, it must be super bittersweet for MP to get that close to get into the finals and then getting kicked out after losing 3 games in a row. That must suck. And I know the pain, but I mean, they can still be proud because, my God, did everyone play well here? But I think, honestly, in this game, yeah, I don't know exactly what went wrong there. It's just, it really comes down, honestly, to, I think, Teal sending his archers to the left, right? Send his archers to the left to be kill an archer range at red base. That gave Purple the time to get his archer numbers up and get seeds out. By the time the Teal went right back over here, there were 3 mangonels already, which is already really scared at. Our DT yelled at us. I bet. Oh, man. And of course, the Slugta privileges. I mean, I did say Slavs, overall, maybe stronger Civ than Poles, especially in Feudal Age they shine, and in Imperial Age they have the better cavalry. But Poles have one trick up their sleeve, if you can get to it. And look at that, with just 1 TC play, Yellow managed to get to that Polish situation where you can start spamming from 4 stables and actually afford it as well. Right? And look at that, 40 knights on the field. Green didn't have a single knight anymore. He just simply couldn't keep up. I mean, Yellow's uptime was good as well. He had his knights out earlier as well, but it luckily didn't fall into the trap of trying to go for a castle and Slugta privileges first. That would have been kind of iffy. First, try to get some economy out, get some knights out for map control, and then get that up. But my God, yeah, the blow fell, and when it fell, it came in hard and heavy. And MP, unfortunately, weren't able to stem the tide of that first wave, right? They were able to hold on, get their signature economies rolling. They may have been able to clap back. But right now, the Polish flood, it was just too much. Yeah, KDs will not lie as well. I mean, actually, look at the KD for Yellow. Wow, 85 kills for the 36. 91 kills for Red, but of course, he did lose a lot more units himself as well in the battle against Blue, which Blue had the better KD, but it was not enough. He wasn't doing enough damage to Red where it would justify MP continuing to play here. Poor Green lost absolutely everything there. Yeah, again, a team wall is only as good as its weakest link, and once that team wall broke and the Polish horde broke in, yeah, Green simply didn't have the numbers. He simply couldn't match the numbers that the Green player was throwing at him. And yeah, Teal, of course, got overwhelmed by the mangonels and lost so much army. Wow, 53 archers going down there. That is a critical loss right there. Yeah, compare. Look right here. Slugta privilege is in. Slav player actually has more knights at this moment. And then look, stonks. Oh man, just look at that knight number take off. It's just so broken. Look at that. Look, how do you keep up with that? Just kapow! Crazy, man. Like, you can really compare it just by taking away all the other players. Like right here, right? It's all very even. Everything is good. Slav player actually has more military here. Slugta privileges. Stonks. Right there. Oh, man. That is beautiful. Yeah, I'm gonna screenshot that one. That's a nice meme. Man, oh man. Yeah, economy-wise, it was too close that it really started to diverge. But of course, after all this punishment that MP received, their economies would of course have suffered from that. Their build counts would have dipped. As you can see at the end, that's really, it was very even until then. But at the end, that's when it dipped. Oh boy, oh boy. APM-wise, yeah, 66 APM for the Celt player, nicely done. 65 for Kalege, goed gedaan, as they would say in Dutch, huh? Of course, no 69. That's what we needed. Ah, darn it. Oh man, what a beautiful set this was. What a beautiful comeback this was. I'd like to say congratulations to EFE Team for winning this freaking game. Despite, being behind by 2-0 at the start. It certainly didn't look like they were going to win. MP looked really strong at the start of this series. But they repacked they picked themselves up and they finished their reverse sweep. Of course, good luck in the finals, which I will cast on Saturday. Hint, hint. And of course, Good luck next time for MP. They definitely played like champions, even if this time around they're not going to be able to go to the finals. They can certainly be proud of their performance. GG.